Keep moving on. Keep moving on. And they say I have a grim sense of humor.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Summer 2015 North American Challenger Series. I'm David Freak Turley. Alongside me is a man who is so good he's referred to as broken. Aiden Zyrene Moon, how's it going?
Well, I'm getting nerfed in patch 5.14, but they're actually reverting the buffs I got in 4.20, so I don't know what balance is doing anyway.
Oh my god. You
never understand.
You had to go for that one, didn't you? Either way, guys, we are at the halfway mark of the Summer Split regular season. We've got 5 games down, 5 more to go. Counting's hard. Here's the team's rank. Tied in first place with 5 games played are Renegades and Team Coast with 5 wins. Then in third, it's 3 wins, 2 losses. Cloud and Tempest still adds up to 5.
Then Team Imagine is in 4th at 3-2, and currently on the outside looking in are the winless Vortex and Winter Fox, who are both tied for 5th. At the end of the summer playoffs, first place automatically joins the NALCS in spring 2016, second and third play in the spring promotion tournament with a shot at earning an LCS berth, and 4th place automatically requalifies for the 2016 Spring Challenger Series.
And of course, both Renegades and Team Coast will clinch a playoff spot if they win today. That's going to be what's on their minds. They'll look at the postseason, a guaranteed challenger spot at least as they move on to 2016. Now, if you somehow missed the hour-long countdown timer, here's a reminder of tonight's lineup. We're going to kick things off with Renegades going head-to-head with Team Imagine, then Cloud and Tempest up against Winter Fox.
And we'll cap it all off with Team Coast going up against Vortex.
So that first game is just moments away, and as we wait for Champ Select, here's what happened last night when Team Imagine faced off with Renegades. You're going to notice that Team Imagine have actually switched their lineup pretty much entirely. You're going to see players from a lot of prior Challenger organizations, and they've tried to rejigger things to make their comp better.
Exactly. 2 people from Odyssey, 2 from Frank Fang Gaming, and 1 from Maelstrom Gaming, ManCloud, who was recently seen on TDK. They came through the gates. We saw Moon last week on Winter Fox, but this team just didn't fare too well against Renegades. Renegades came with a poke composition, very well rounded, and we saw what Imagine tried to do.
As we get ourselves now into the gameplay clips, you'll see it starts out with some landing phase leads, 600 gold just from minion kills. Renegades go for the dive, they look for intense. They're going to get him eventually, and that's first blood, but now they're stuck behind turrets, and Baby able to kite back properly. Chunky Fresh is here, the Shark lands, and Jeebus in his first game on Renegades dies.
Yep, Chunky Fresh with the TP coming through. Crumbs gonna get picked up here, does not give a kill or assist over to Chunky Fresh, so only a kill for his efforts.
Yeah, at least he gets XP and someone else gets the kill gold. But 2-1 in this game. ManCloud still showing he's a very good player. This is so freaking sick. Alex flashed it, but they're still going to get the kill.
Moon's helping. Look at that. Oh, right into the wall. But it does stun him up a little bit and gives ManCloud that kill onto Alex H. 3-1, but only 200 gold difference. And you can see here, still 3-1, but 1,000 gold difference as Crumbs comes around the top lane for a kill.
Yeah, Chunky Fresh, though, with his earlier TP getting gold, is still doing pretty well in the fights, but at this point, slightly overextends, tries to chase onto Remilia, shouldn't. Remilia tanks the turret aggro properly, Crumbs with the easy turret dive, and Renegade is just winning mostly on individual skill and doing a good job of just getting early game leads. Baron attempt 27 minutes in, IMG comes in to stop.
And you can see, even though they're just 1 kill up, 5,000 gold lead with only 1 turret up as well, it's all the farm that falls into their hands. ManCloud tries to go for the steal there, but he's way too far forward as RF dives onto him.
Yeah, easy pickup there. Gets a bit of a heal from the Janna, but really not going to be enough. Baby, no! Goes down. Picked up by Renegades. And this starts the really big snowball here as they get farther and farther ahead. 8,000 enough. Bottom lane siege, easy enough.
Yeah, ManCloud, though, goes for another hero play. He wants Alex Each, going for that rematch from Season 3 Worlds. Trying to go after Alex. Doesn't pick him up there, and then Intense pays for it.
Yeah, and that's kind of the problem, is ManCloud kind of went for the play without his team really around. Like, he had Rocket Jump trying to get in range, and just means clean up here. Renegade's able to kite away properly. Jeebus 4-2-5, make that 5-2-5. Goes for Baby. Make that 6-2-5. And
the quadra kill.
Yeah, I mean, a really, really nice play here, and Renegade's able to win. Later game team fights, 12,000 gold. They try one more time for Baron. Easy Callista secure. Not a problem.
Yep. RF, though, once again diving in onto that back line. They put themselves too far forward, and Intense out of position again, and ManCloud goes for another dive on the left side. He just keeps going in with the Emperor's Divide, trying to use it for damage and displacement.
Yeah, but Chunky Fresh is already out of the battle at that point, so here we go. Game's going to end right there. Push into the mid lane. 18,000 gold up, 37-minute win. Pretty convincing after the beginning of it.
The game ends with all 10 people up, just no fight over that Nexus. And you can see Jeebus' first game through, 6-2-7. He's actually not going to be playing today. Maplestreet will be playing today, so you won't see Jeebus, but RF great engages that game on Maokai and was able to get to the back line of ManCloud And ManCloud himself had a good
Brought
game.
himself to the front line anyway, though.
He brought himself to the front line. He delivered himself to RF.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's able to make those plays, and yet he's going for those risky plays on a team that he knows nothing about, even he doesn't know a lot about his teammates. So he's diving in with full confidence that they're going to back him up, and that's something they can build off of later on as they become more synergized.
Well, we'll see if that happens for Team Imagine, because we're going to have Game 2 coming up. And if you want to watch only one lane, then pay attention to that mid lane. It's Alex up against ManCloud. You talked about it during the rollout, but this is a rematch of the group stage of Season 3 Worlds. Alex back on Gambit, ManCloud back on XDG, at the time Vulcan. And, you know, they found themselves now the Challenger Series. Alex and ManCloud both trying to get back into the LCS. ManCloud, the perennial sub, and hopefully he can actually lead a team in there himself.
Yeah, since then, he's been on 5 Challenger squads and about 2 or 3 teams in the LCS subbing in and out. So ManCloud has been seeing constant play, just not at the highest level anymore. And also, ManCloud, that game, he looked like he had something to prove. He was gunning for Alex. No matter what, he was going to try to kill Alex Siege. And it worked out, because that was the roughest games Renegades has had this split.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, to talk about ManCloud a bit, like, you don't keep competing unless you have something to prove, unless you really want to drive for it. And ManCloud, I mean, to his credit, is still a relevant mid laner in the competitive scene. You have a lot of, you know, upstarts, people you hadn't heard of before in 2013, Bishu and Yasui being examples. And yet, you know, here's, for example, ManCloud and Alex, who were big names in 2013, arguably the best in their region at the time, and saying, well, you know what? We're still here to show up, and we'll see how their climb back up to the top leagues goes. Yeah,
and ManCloud has the record for all-time kills in the North American LCS, tied, I think, with Reckless, who made it up in EU. But he had it first. And pretty much nobody's ever going to tie that record again.
The less games.
Because our splits are so much shorter.
Yeah, but we'll do kills per game instead, and then you'll kind of have the actual record be competing with. But either way, we are into champs like ourselves, of course. Sivir and Fizz away. Intense not allowed to play that. And honestly, Chunky Fresh had a pretty good Sivir game, or sorry, Fizz game in the first place. So makes a lot of sense to ban those out.
Fizzes are always really kind of potent. I see it in solo queue, and it's amazing. But then in actual competitive play, the only regions I really see thrive with Fizz top seems to be LCK and LPL. Every now and then you'll see a Fizz pop up in North America or in EU, and it just seems very lackluster.
It's because the teams feel more coordinated. Like, especially if you're playing tank Fizz as opposed to AP Fizz, you need follow-up dive. Otherwise, you're not tanky enough to actually solo the backline. You're not Hecker. You're just a worse version of that champion if you go by yourself. But if you go with teammates, then you can't really be peeled off. Then you're going to do enough damage to knock them down. And unless you're going to be coordinated to make that happen, which we saw, honestly, a flaw in the Imagine game, where ManCloud and Chunky Fish are never on the same page, then it's not going to work out. So
he's a great duelist too. If you end up going for the Ignite and you get the fish on people, you're amplifying your damage. And if you go for the Cinder Hulk build, you just make the damage gap really large. They're doing 20% less, you're doing 20% more. So just really good duelist all around if you can set those up and actually land the fish. That's been a big problem for some people.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see if that ends up happening. Well, it's not going to happen. Fizz got banned in this game, but we'll see what Imagine chooses to pick instead. The first pick Rek'Sai. This is interesting. We keep seeing the tier list move around a whole bunch. None of the junglers got banned here. We normally saw first pick Gragas because of that. This time it's first pick Rek'Sai. Imagine has all the time in the world to pick that for themselves. The Nautilus flex pick and the early Corki goes through. Intense getting a comfort pick here.
This is looking a lot like the same composition that they ran yesterday. They ran exactly very, very close to this though. It was the Tristana Janna for the bottom lane. So I want to see what ends up happening here for the rest of Team Imagine.
Well, it's worth pointing out that Ezreal is still up. So in terms of like putting a composition together, Poke, you've already got the Corki in there, which makes you magic heavy, so they need attack damage somewhere else, and there's not an easy slot for it. But Renegades potentially well suited as they can take plenty of time. Though keep in mind, Imagine does have some point and click engage now. So if you're kind of centering around this champion being a centerpiece for a strategy, there's some engage for Imagine, and we'll see if Renegades can get counter engage. But they already chose Rek'Sai, not Gragas, so knockback's less likely, but Thresh can help that, and they are going to see the Ezreal on likely Alex Itch.
Yeah, I have no idea what I was saying about Team Imagine there for a second.
It's okay.
Sorry about that. I was like, Maple Street is in this game. That's right. So yeah. Anyway, so it looks nothing like what they were running yesterday on Team Imagine's side so far. The fact that they have that engage and they've drafted the Ezreal means that you do have ways to get to him. The Nautilus point and click will lock up
Mid-Jarvan.
But the Jarvan will do it too. The Maokai is banned away though, so they won't have that option for Chunky Fresh to point and click and dive onto the Ezreal, and that's the most effective thing we've seen so far against it.
I mean, that's the thing is also if Vi ever decides that she wants to get played again. I mean, this is like the design of some of the champions is like, look, you have the best guaranteed lockdown engage in the game. You are Vi, you are Maokai, you are Nautilus. You click R and press them and they will get hit, or Maokai Hawkeye's case W, and that's sort of the intended counter picks for champions like Ezreal. We saw Gravity do it. We'll see if Team Imagine wants to even go that way at all. And right now, hovering on the second Azir game in a row for ManCloud. I mean, he was impressive on it the first time around. We know that typically Ezreal lanes end up being free farm lanes, and ManCloud could be very big this one, as Gragas does come through for Moon a bit later.
Okay, I was just predicting the future, because those are the same champions that Moon and ManCloud played yesterday.
There we go.
So those two are exactly the same. The composition looking very different, though. ManCloud, he was using that Azir to engage, so if he can perform those types of moves on Alex each today and push Alex into the team, that's going to bode much better for them today if they're able to lock him up. So he played the Varus yesterday on Alex Each. Now he's another poke champion. Alex has just gone full poke now. He's no longer the assassin guy. He's all about the poke. He's all about the wave clear. It's a little depressing because he was just such a good Kha'Zix player.
He has the occasional good like Rise games and stuff.
That's still not an assassin.
I mean, it's close enough. You walk up and do 700 damage in 0.2 seconds. It's It's basically Kha'Zix damage. Last two picks for Renegades, though, they're going to grab Urgot, and even though Maple plays a lot of AD Urgot, there's always a chance that is a flex pick mid Urgot for the AD Ezreal, but top lane Shen is in. We can't expect Thresh to go anywhere else than that. So the Renegades have their full lineup in. They do have plenty of poke and a lot of defense, Thresh and Shen to keep people alive. And Imagine have saved their top lane pick for last. We don't see teams do that very often. Even when blue side picks a mid laner earlier on, we still see teams very often save their mid for last. So curious to see what Chunky Fresh wants to play. He'd actually been pretty good with the team on his Fizz. He was actually a pretty bright spot. So we'll see if he takes another sort of divey assassin like a Hecarim up there.
Okay, and just to kind of, I don't know if it's going to go with the Hecarim or something to dive and help assist, but you do want to see something like that against this AP Ezreal mid. But speaking of the AP Ezreal mid, he has Peel, he has Shen, he even has an Urgot to peel people off of him, and Urgot's relatively low damage is what kind of pushed him out of professional play, is people wanted more damage from that role. And speaking of damage out of that role.
Yeah.
Oh.
How about damage in a different role? Top lane Yasuo.
All right.
There's a lot of knock-up synergy. Azir has two different versions of it. Nautilus has two versions of it, and Gragas has two versions of it as well. So there's a lot of setup synergy here for the possibility. Now, last time we really saw Yasuo played, it was a counterpick for Gnar specifically. It was supposed to beat up that matchup. Here he's up against Shen. And also a time before that, back when Mundo was popular, Yasuo was considered a good pick into Mundo because you couldn't kill you had a license to farm your lane forever. Now Shen has better gank assistance, so you have to be a bit more worried about playing aggressively, but top lane Yasuo for Chunky Fresh. So far, I've liked him as a player on Imagine. It's only been a one-game sample, but there's a chance this goes really well, and I always like seeing the different picks come through.
Yeah, I want to see what he does with this, if he's going to go for the Giant's Belt, the Bomby Cinder, what is he going to build? Because we've seen it back and forth a lot. So, oh man, a top lane out of a meta pick.
We'll see what happens. I love him. We're going to see if it works out well. These are maybe not the most standard compositions, although the Ezreal's pretty standard, but in the Challenger Series, we do get to see a lot of interesting champion picks.
So on LOLesports.com, the article, The New Top Idol, details what exactly Mouse Sports top laner Beansu was thinking when he locked in Galio against Gamers 2. And if you're curious to see how it went, you can also check out the entire game at our spoiler-free VOD hub. This one will be up there too, eventually on LOLesports.com. Click VODs. And see how this Yasuo
you can just do slash VODs.
That's
if you're already typing in, you might as well just hit the 4 of the keystrokes.
That's true. Slash VODs.
You load one less page, doesn't require mouse movements. It's just more efficient, guys. This guy doesn't even know how to use a computer right.
I like giving a lot of views to different pages. LOL Esports gets a view, VODs gets a view.
What do you like, view brigading LOLesports.com? Careful, there'll be an Esports Express article about you.
Uh-oh.
All right, so
there hasn't been one yet, and I'm slightly
that means you're not doing anything wrong.
I know.
Because they really only do it to make fun of people, So
I don't know if I'm disappointed or happy. I
do that enough anyway. Continue.
I mean, I guess it means I haven't done anything wrong. I guess I'm happy about that, but just Esports Express in general.
Or you're forgettable.
That's
which might be worse.
That's a dark thought. I'll just be more wrong, like I was in Champion Select.
Yeah, this looks like the exact same comp with this Corky pickup.
Yeah, I honestly zoned out for a second.
I know how that goes. I really know how that goes.
I looked down at my notes and I realized I didn't put anything in here. Because Imagine's team.
Rip them up. They don't matter.
I know. Imagine's team is just completely different players.
Yeah.
They have nothing from week 2, week 3, or nothing from week 1 and 2. They have their week 3 now. It's just not a single person. Exactly.
Well, ManCloud is about to get cut off, and the hook from behind. He burns Summoner Heal early. Maybe he didn't actually need to use it. He's still at 300 health. Okay, so that was
And they get the Summoner
It's
Spell.
intricate level 1.
Get the Summoner Spell, a little bit of back and forth there, and the hook coming up big. Remelia, I want to talk about this because Thresh has been banned 4 times against Renegades in their 5 games.
Yeah.
So giving this champion to Remelia is pretty much a death sentence in and of itself. The one time it wasn't banned against her, she picked it, went 0-2-12.
Yep.
Now, the other time it's not banned, picks it up for herself. So Remelia is all about these types of champions that lock people down. Thresh, Nautilus, Morgana, Annie, all about these pick champions. And she is so good at executing on that pattern. And when she gets it, it's very deadly.
Well, we'll see if the deadliness can continue here. Intense is actually pushing the wave out a little bit. You saw he like pulled the freeze and then immediately started attacking minions. So I know.
Sometimes.
Well, I know it was interesting because we keep seeing lane swap games evolve. We are in a lane swap, by the way. Imagine did send their dual lane topside. We've now seen the version that like Team Liquid and CLG and TSM were doing, where they dogpile top lane on the second wave with everyone but the jungler. And right now, Baby making sure that this blue buff steal will go off without a hitch. It will be an easy 2-buff start for Imagine. We'll see if Renegades are able to grab the opposing blue buff on the same side. Chunky Fresh will be helping Moon knock down the blue buff, and we'll see if these guys join with top lane soon. But triple jungling, definitely a fun one. And I'm really hoping, by the way, that Baby's running that support mastery, the utility mastery that gives you XP for being nearby other champions, because he'd get half a level by the time they're done jungling. Just if he has any XP at all.
Not sure. If his experiences jumps up randomly. We'll know. We'll know. Doesn't look like it.
It's too bad. I really like that mastery. I think it's really, really strong.
1 point for lane swaps. But
yeah, he's got the mastery. Sweet. Good. Good on you.
does he?
I was seeing it move, so I'm pretty sure. But maybe he was in minion range. I wasn't watching closely enough. I could look at it after the game. I could just look through the client and see if the mastery is there.
Regardless, you like that mastery.
It's amazing. Everyone should run it.
Even mid laners.
Okay, everyone who goes deep utility should run it. Which is really just supports. If you expect to be under level, then paired with other champions, aka supports, you should bring the mastery. Are we good now?
But what if I'm a jungler? And
you're not in lanes often enough, because you're taxing everybody. But this is going to be the top lane turret going down about 4 minutes. Chunky Fresh to absorb what he can. This freeze will be a bit awkward as... no, actually, the minion's going to die right about on time. He should be in a good spot. Gets the solo gold. I actually talked to one of the LCS AD carries about it, and he said if you're not going to reach a pickaxe recall, which Corki never will, give it all to your top laner, because there's no point if you do the AD carry this time around. It gets them ahead instead. You can see Intense was already able to buy the Longsword and the Ruby Crystal. You're going to see a similar sort of recall situation. Maple Street, Longsword, and Tyr, and turrets died about the same times. Now, Chunky Fresh is already getting experience in gold, and right now that's not happening for RF.
Yeah, and you were talking about how you want to give it to the top laner and the gold to that carry. Well, here's the thing is, this is a composition that's centered a little bit around Yasuo. If Chunky Fresh has a good game, you can expect Imagine just overall to have a really good game because they have so many ways to knock up people and set up his ultimate the last breath. RNG though, this is Alex Siege centered. Maple Street's damage is very low on this Urgot, so when Alex Siege, the poke champion, the champion that does so much damage right now, has to come online for Ezreal and Alex Siege to actually execute on this composition.
Yeah, and you're seeing actually this being paid forward. You notice that Renegades choose the lane matchup that's actually atypical. They don't put the dual lane over by the dragon. Instead, they're trying to put the dual lane near this Yasuo to try to hold him down. Moon holding this side of the map to make sure he's safe, but they knew Shen couldn't fight Yasuo. They'd rather put the 2-on-1 against him to hold him down, and so far that's actually working.
Starve him a little bit, RF. You can farm a little bit better under turret as Shen. If they go in on you, you just taunt them like this. Baby's going to take 2 turret shots here, possibly 3. Nope, just 2.
And Intense sitting there, AFK hitting the turret. It's going to get pretty low. It's still before 7 minutes, so the Corki damage on it's not that high. But you're seeing a fairly fearless Imagine lineup, knocking down minion waves as fast as possible, harassing RF as much as they can, and trying to get some progress done. Meanwhile, topside, a somewhat similar story. Chunky Fresh, though, does have Moon backing him up, making this a bit harder to really hold down. Yeah,
Crumbs' activity on this map has pretty much just been farming. He got that bottom turret. Tense right in range, takes 1 turret shot. Not going to take another for trouble.
Down. Yeah, now the tricky thing is RF does have teleport. Even though he's taking all this damage, he should be able to get back in the lane before too terribly long and make this turret be very painful. Question is, and actually it's kind of unfortunate, with Moon showing top lane, RF knows he's safe. There's no really big playmaking that can be done. There's no Gragas being possible.
But here comes Crumbs to the top lane. He's going to clear out this ward with the pink down. He's going to see if he can apply pressure on it. They're very healthy. Maybe taking more shots.
Oh, they're TP. They're going to go for RF right away. Wow! An overstep by RF. He dies straight up 1v2. Chunky Fresh TP's down, which doesn't mean a whole lot. Moon going to run away from Crumbs, but Renegades misplaying the lane swap. Big lead to Imagine.
In all honesty, that TP probably should have been canceled so he could stay underneath this turret, farm it a little bit more. Crumbs would try to dive, but also Moon is there too to help dissuade that. So they could have gotten more off of that because he honestly didn't get anything for that TP.
Yeah, I think they chose the risk-averse strategy of let's make sure we don't die. You saw him run away from the turret at the very beginning. I'm not disagreeing that it was the wrong choice. I'm just kind of thinking about their mindset here. They wanted to make sure no kills went over to Maple. This will mean the top turret still goes down though, so 2 turrets to 2. The only real differentiation here, the fact that Imagine did get that really nice first blood off the overstep of RF.
Yeah, and that went over to the support. Went over to Baby, so it's not the most ideal situation, but still.
200 gold in the wrong spot, essentially.
All right. See what RF does with this. He has the lane frozen towards him. He's 14 CS down. And this Yasuo, Chunky Fresh, is having a good game so far.
Yeah, keep in mind it is TP down on the Yasuo, which means if he stays top lane, there was no easy way for Imagine to play for the Dragon here. They're going to get Scuttler, which will help them in sort of the vision game, and Sheen's done for Corki pretty early, but it just will be difficult. So Chunky Fresh is hard shoving top lane. They're trying to get somebody to react to this one. RF will have TP, and he's going to be 6 before too long.
When somebody reacts to it, you have to do something with that reaction, because otherwise you're just giving over free farm. And here comes RF up to the top lane. He'll catch some of it. Crumbs might catch it for him, but it looks like he's not going to. Crumbs is just going to stick around, making sure that he doesn't stay. So yeah, RF pretty much just gets to pick up a frozen wave here.
Yeah. Maple's doing something similar, actually. The wave pushing of Imagine is going to maybe bite them in the back. So they're up 900 gold right now, and we'll see how much that changes as we move on because of the state of these minion waves. We'll keep up when we get to the next couple of team fights here, but ManCloud is, in fact, getting strong amount of farm, as you expected in a 0 matchup against Ezreal. Alex is forced to play a little bit defensively, but he's honestly not taking much damage here, and we'll see if he ever goes for the big play. He's going to try right now for Alex. Knocks him. Ooh! Alex, the arcane shift. Yeah, it's actually fairly easy for Ezreal to get away from these kind of antics.
Yeah, as long as you spell buffer the E, you make sure that you get it in. Input buffering.
Yeah,
Sure
it's almost impossible for ManCloud to land his E knock up directly into the R. The timing window is so incredibly short that you're likely to not lock out Ezreal. And it's going to be Imagine looking for the Dragon. They had Chunky Fresh shove in top so that they could run him to the bot lane now and go for a Dragon. Looks like this will be successful. Alexic, no ulti and low enough. He doesn't want to try. Crumbs is going to try for the steal, and it's going to go to Crumbs! He gets the Dragon steal. Man, it went down to like 550. Moon had the window to smite it. It just didn't for way too long.
Rather slow take there. It's 100%.
It sat at 550 for like a full second.
Yeah, it's 510 with Smite for Moon at level 6.
Oh, man.
So it was just right out of Smite range. They couldn't do anything about Crumbs' presence. But that's what a threshold will give your team.
Yep.
If you want to go for that Dragon, it's almost no risk unless you get caught. We saw Baby's reaction to that. The hook a little bit late.
All right, unfortunate things, and also speaking of unfortunate things, Moon did manage to snag his team's blue buff with his red buff, so it doesn't go over to ManCloud. Unfortunate here for the Imagine Gru. Level 6 for both these top laners. RF has all of the room in the world to leave this lane and help his teammates out. Chunky Fresh, despite getting a top lane for a long time, despite RF dying, they're just hiding minions.
Yep. Came back in minions because of the freeze. Like I said, you have to be able to do a lot with that, and they didn't actually get anything out of that freeze. They gave a whole bunch of gold over to RNG, they gave it over to RF, and they didn't even get Dragon for it because Crumbs is steal.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be an unfortunate thing as we sit now only 300 to 400 gold apart, so a large gold gap has been closed, and in fact now the first blood doesn't even make the gold difference anymore, so Renegades generally winning in the minion department. Runeglaive done on Ezreal. He's also holding up perfectly fine against ManCloud. And life gets a bit difficult. Chunky Fresh just does not want to fight RF. He also has fairly weak ward control, making it a little bit difficult for him to be safe up against these potential Rek'Sai ganks. His wards actually have all just timed out right now, making it very difficult for Chunky Fresh to feel safe up here.
Keep tabs on everybody, so when they have vision of Crumbs, he'll be able to shove a little bit forward, but all the lanes just trying to shove up right now. Alex trying to get some leeway in the mid. You see bot lane is shoving out. They saw Moon on the left side, so they're able to do this. Crumbs could go for a play here. Baby gets hooked.
And that's going to be Baby going down. Shadow popped on Maple to keep him alive because he was taking a whole lot of damage. A late teleport by Chunky Fresh. He should cancel this, but he doesn't, and Windwall's the wrong direction. Renegades get away scot-clean, and Chunky Fresh's second bad TP in a row.
That's Shen ultimate onto Maple. Then the swap was really cool because then Shen is immediately in front of the person because of the swap. Beautifully played. ManCloud looks like he wants to go for a play here himself.
Misses the play, though, does not land the knockup. Alexich gets away safely. The wave clear is fine. ManCloud just going to get the scraps of minions here. Easy pink ward clear. Alex jumps the wall. He's going to stay safe. And it is once again Trailblazer on the Runeglaive Ezreal. We occasionally see different builds, but Trailblazer the most common one.
And Trailblazer for the wave clear.
In the regen in some cases.
We
We'll put some wards down. Yeah.
Shall go for the
We occasionally see different
stalkers.
versions. Yeah. As is normal for him, actually. It's what he's been doing in solo queue. But we're talking about Alexich here, and he's doing just fine. Now, a gold lead for Renegades. Once again, we had Imagine winning in kills, but losing in farm, and same exact scenario. The question is, when does Renegades choose to play any more aggressively? Because right now, they're happy to farm up. It's a poke team. They can wait for the Shen ulti again, and you may see more slow, methodical play from the blue side.
So far, Imagine has been the team that's giving Renegades the most trouble.
Yeah.
Out of all the matches that they've played, this 5-0 team experiences the most deficit early, most early game moves from Imagine, which is good to see from this squad, especially since it's all new.
Yeah. Well, they're taking it very seriously. I got to talk to their new jungler Moon before the game. Hold on. It's going to be Chunky Fresh taking some damage. Challenging Smite used by Crumbs, but Chunky will be safe. Okay. So I talked to Moon, and he says, yeah, so after this game, I'm flying in about 6 hours.
Oh.
Said where to? It was going to the, of course, the Team Imagine Gaming House. And they said the rest of his team's going to be there by the beginning of next week. And they're all going to live together and do what they can to practice and be as powerful as they can as a unit. So even though they are freshly put together, they're all being put into the compound, essentially. And we'll see if that team... it was a bad term for it, but...
Into the compound!
Into the Team Imagine house, you know, and they're going to be doing what they can to shore up their synergy and teamwork issues, and maybe they'll be a real contender later on.
Trying to take this blue buff away. Oh, gets picked up there by ManCloud.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
So, if you're a fan of Enemy, you're part of the Enemy Nation.
Okay.
If you're a fan of Imagine, are you part of the Imagination?
Yes.
I think
Obviously, yes.
They should brand for that.
Of course.
Be part of the Imagination. Apparently, their roster for the first 2 weeks was just a figment of my imagination, because it doesn't exist anymore.
That's just bad. Don't even
No,
do that.
it's true.
No, shut up.
It's true. But this one looks great.
I mean, up against the assumed #1 team in Challenger, the undefeated Team Renegades, I mean, certainly, of course, a difficult team to beat, but we'll have to see, though. A couple games doesn't always mean everything, but maybe a good start for these guys. Chunky Fresh still farming what he can, but now getting a bit farther and farther behind RF. The same thing happens in the mid lane, same thing in jungle, same thing on AD carry. Imagine are just slowly getting farther and farther behind here. 1,000 gold deficit, not a great thing. Dragon's up at 30. Crumbs got the scuttler controlled. The blue buff, I believe, will time out off ManCloud before the dragon even comes back up. And they'll have a couple seconds of it, okay. He'll have a little bit left of the buff, but it's just a game going better and better for Renegades.
Yeah, and as this match goes on, you really have to take team comps into consideration more and more. Imagine has multiple threats. They have 3 really big threats on their team. A lot of setup for Chunky Fresh, but then RNG really has Alex Each, a little bit of Maple Street. Crumbs is a threat early on with his Warrior enchant, but as the game progresses, if they are able to pick off Alex, this team is going to run all over them on Imagine's side.
We're seeing Dragon attempt #2, the exact same play going to be happening, and it is going to go to the blue team yet again. Alexich gets it, but at least Imagine learned their lesson and got a kill back, but it's 2 dragons for 0 with just hitting some spells.
They're going to try to siege down the mid lane. RF is shoving the top lane, so he's going to pull Chunky Fresh up there to deal with him. Chunky Fresh will clear a wave, but RF has ways to get into this fight where Chunky Fresh doesn't for a little while because his TP is down.
Ooh, but that hook's gonna come down on a baby, down to half HP, and the poke coming through, forced to anchor away, and that means Imagine can't take the turret down. Their tanks are taking too much damage, and no siege is gonna happen for that kill. Nothing gained for that Imagine kill.
Yeah, and the fact that RF just has ways into this fight with TP and his stand united means that you have to back off before he can get into that fight and turn it around. They almost got a turret for themselves, though, on Imagine's side. They almost jumped to a gold lead because of that siege, because they got the pick onto Crumbs. Crumbs goes bottom to try and break this wave, but now they get to regroup again. Imagine, I wouldn't be surprised if they keep trying to force fights, because they're a very team fight-centric composition. You want all 5 of these members grouped up to deal with RNG.
And keep in mind, yeah, you talk about team fight power. Oh, ManCloud in such a bad spot. Box, Ignite, everything used. Pops ulti to look for RF. Gets a shield. ManCloud stays alive. Oh, he dodges a true shot barrage. Maybe a false shot there as Imagine picks up the kill.
I was just talking about it. The damage of this RNG squad is not that high. And when you can't kill ManCloud in a CC back to forth between 2 members, but it's your top laner and your support, you really wish you had one of those 2 early damage dealers there. This is just going to get worse as time goes on, though. Imagine 200 gold down, more threats on this team, and Alex is just pivotal to all of this. He didn't land that true shot barrage. That would have evened it up. But now they have to deal with this moving forward, because Alex is frankly just not getting fed at this point in the game. He's waiting for those turn-on points where he gets those items and he gets to be the sole threat of the team.
Yeah, well, I mean, thankfully, due to his farm, he is the highest gold player in the game right now. But yeah, Ezreal is okay at one item, but until you reach the Luden's Echo power spike, it's just not nearly as scary. Rank 2 ulti's in, so he can do some things. We'll see as that continues on. Mid lane farm still traded back and forth. Alex is, of course, winning this lane by a fair bit at this point. But we're still seeing some great plays off of ManCloud. He's certainly a very good player.
It looks like they're just going to keep trying to apply pressure. This turret's very low. If ManCloud gets to make contact with it, he can just blow it up fairly quickly, just like that.
There you go. The the blasting smite from Alex Hitch, not enough to keep the turret alive. Now a bot lane play. Crumbs ults in and gets a Shen ulti, and Chunky Fresh trying to get away. Does get away from the dash. Double knockup comes in, but he is still fairly slow. Waits to see if he wants to jump the wall. Crumbs already on the other side of him, though. Chunky Fresh going to be in a pretty bad spot. The flash shotgun comes through, gets the kill, goes to RF.
Oh, man.
Renegades fire back.
At that point, you're just going, team? Team? Took a long time for Imagine to react to that play. They were still shoving down mid lane. ManCloud did not travel down towards Chunky Fresh. Chunky Fresh had flash as well. Didn't find an escape route for himself. Baby's caught. RF's going to lock him up.
Man, so much CC from this lineup, but the damage is not there. Okay, it is, because it's a pretty squishy support, but it took him a bit of time. Assist goes to Maple Street. The flash swap, beautiful play. ManCloud's got nowhere to go. Played in, knocked around, double kill. 4 kills for RF on this Shen.
So I said I wouldn't be surprised if this team groups up and just keeps fighting from Imagine's side, but they're scattered to the wings right now, and they're not playing towards their strengths. They're getting picked off and playing into the whole pick comp of RNG. You're going to get thresh hooked, you're going to get taunted, you might get picked off by Rek'Sai, but there's also the swap from Maple Street. There's just a lot of single target CC here that you have to watch out for.
And it's interesting the way he built it too. He rushed Black Cleaver second. Normally we see Brutalizer, Last Whisper, things like that. It's very sort of team fight focused, and the armor shred to make Crumbs do more damage, I would guess. But off those kills, Renegade's able to push down the mid lane pretty quickly, pretty convincingly. And it will be their third. Oh, that hook onto Intense. A big flank kill goes through to Alex, and in comes Yasuo to the back line, but won't do nearly enough damage. Chunky Fresh flashes the wall. It's not his lantern after all. Double kill for Alex Itch. What a great fight for Renegades.
They didn't have ManCloud there. They didn't have a big threat. Chunky Fresh, no follow-up. And this is why you don't give Remilia Thresh.
Yeah.
It's the most banned champion against Renegades, and she's going to play it because she's just so damn good at that champion. And to touch on the Black Cleaver point too, it's the best CDR item that Maple Street can pick up this game. He could go for a Frozen Heart, but Yasuo's going to shred through your bonus magic resistance, and Corki's going to poke mostly magic damage too. Look at that. Great hook there from Remilia. Nice attempt at a retaliation there.
I mean, if Corki and Azir were in that fight still, you could see how good it would be.
Yeah.
He got Alex to half by himself, and if there was a real backline, it could have been big, but good hooks, good plays. Renegades up 3,000 gold now at 20 minutes. They definitely a considerable gold lead, not insurmountable, but one that definitely matters here. We'll see if any more can happen. 45 seconds to the next dragon, and again, twice in a row, Renegades have stolen that one away. Imagine, gotta feel a bit hurt about that, but maybe they find just what they're looking for.
everybody was playing so calm and collected at the start.
Mm-hmm.
And then Imagine just seemed lost. It seemed like they weren't grouping. They didn't know how to group. Chunky Fresh got picked off, then ManCloud, then it was intense afterwards. ManCloud was still coming back. Just a lot of disorganization there in Imagine. In a point in the game where Renegades exploited it immediately. Even right here, they're trying to take advantage of the fact that Maple is bottom. But
yeah, this should be good. Just push the top lane turret in. You got the inside track. Renegades, the hook's going to miss. A lot of damage can come through, and even Crumbs is still far. But Imagine, so afraid of getting jumped on. They don't want to be in this battle. They don't quick get the hook on Alex, who goes back in, knowing Baby can't hurt him. That would have been an opportunity, maybe. Oh, no, Nautilus is down as well.
Maple's just going to get bot turret. During all this, Maple is doing a lot of damage to his bot lane
Corky
turret.
pushed in mid. He's looking for a way to fight this one. Hook comes in towards Baby, who's nearly got the ulti up. 2 seconds away. Crumbs poking, and they might drop him down before he can ult. Smite comes through. In goes Alex. Oh, man. Drops down ManCloud. Crumbs gets another as well. The chase down's working beautifully. 2 for nothing. Bot lane turret's already dead. Renegades wins this straight up 4v5.
Maple still doing damage to this bottom turret. Finally, Intense comes to deal with him, but that split there and the stall from Renegades just worked out perfectly. They're going to go for a Baron now.
Wow, 22-minute Baron still without the AD carry. Chunky, Fresh, and Intense both sent to defend. Now Moon looking for the redemption. Baron still gets hooked over the wall. In they go. The taunt, the Ezreal damage, the maybe damage to kill. Moon trying to flee, can't do it. Alex on a rampage, flashes the wall, as does RF, to get into range sooner. And this should be enough to allow them to kill, but keep in mind, Chunky Fresh ain't far away. Wards the wall, does not have flash, though. He has to run around if he wants to make this happen. Won't do it. Blue team takes Baron. Huge lead for Renegades.
Enormous lead after that. Oh, man. It was so calm and collected for so long in IMG. They just needed to group up as 5 and execute on their comp, and they just kept getting picked off. It happened again.
What do you expect for a team that got formed like this week, basically?
Yeah.
You know, they all came together. You're seeing the glimmers of it. Like, they got their lane swaps down. They had some good ganks coming through, but yeah, the mid game, I mean, you can see the experience of Renegades clearly shining through.
Rough start, though. Rocky start for Renegades in this game. It was back and forth. They gave up some kills. The turret dive, RF not playing it perfectly, but all in all, they get their act together in the middle of the game, and Alex 100% online now. Said he wasn't fed when he was 0-0-0. Now jumps forward to 4-0-1 already, maintaining that CS advantage in the game. And now this Ezreal, you have some ways to deal with it, but you have to be able to reach him.
Yeah, and the tools to reach him just aren't really working anymore. The front line is not tanky enough. Moon, no second completed item. Baby on a catalyst, just not a lot of durability here for the front line. You're seeing how much damage those tanks are taking. And if they can't be disruptive, if they can't take some damage, then it means Chunky Fresh can't do much. You see True Shot Barrage keep people to half HP. Like, Imagine don't have the tools to battle.
You have to send people back now. ManCloud can't stick around. They're going to lose this turret if he does. Yeah, he backed up. Working on his back. Crumbs just goes between the turrets. Oh, he stopped it. What?
Wards over the wall. Wards have good range.
Oh, man.
And then stops the recall. ManCloud stuck at low HP. Means mid lane tier 2 goes down. You're just seeing, like, these little smart plays by Renegades, right? Both Dragon Steel attempts. Crumbs' fun recall stopping. Now the push in towards Moon. Not a bad place for Gragas to be, but it's still a 2-on-1. Not great. Chunky Fresh to the back line. Can't do enough damage either. Maple Street just doesn't take damage at all. They've already killed off Baby to swap in. Moon this time, maybe. Nope, gonna live again.
Oh,
and a big play from ManCloud does do what he can. A double kill still for Alex. Another one for Crumbs. Still nothing picked up for Imagine. They just can't fight at all. Intense forced to flash away. Mid inhibitor turret's gonna go down.
Just so much coordination there from RNG, and you can see how they press it over IMG. They know that this is their way into the game. They played a composition that has a lot of pick and poke to it. In order to deal with this, you have to group up. You have to be coordinated in order to deal with it. One person takes one step out of line, they're going to get hooked, they're going to get picked off, and you're going to lose more for it. You can see 11K gold advantage just surged up to that from a very even game for the first 10 minutes. 25 minutes in already. Huge advantage. Intense!
Ooh, well, that was intense, but he got away, thankfully. Just a quick W away and all as well. Crumb steals a red buff. Jet skis over towards Dragon. That's not going to be up for a while, but that's fine. Renegades just, as you mentioned, snowballed this game so incredibly well. They found picks, they found team fights, they found everything they could possibly want and imagine. haven't gotten a kill in the last, I'm going to say, 8 minutes roughly here. Just all Renegades all the time. And I always like that you can run ranged CC with poke-type champions. Because it is, if the hook lands, you're going to land your other few skill shots, right? Urgot lands E, Ezreal lands QW. Just, if a hook lands, there's guaranteed follow-up without even risk. It's always a strength for compositions. And Remilia landing so many good hooks means it's going to be easy.
Yeah, and when Remilia is a person that is very seasoned on that champion, you can put that trust in them that they're going to execute on those hooks. It just makes it seem really easy. Banner of Command, first item for Remilia here. Sitting on that Aegis for a little bit. But now they're playing around Barons. They're playing about closing this game 30 minutes in. I would be very surprised if it went past 33 minutes.
Yeah, it just depends how long they want to play it. We've seen Renegades play for multiple Barons just to be super safe and not throw anything away. But of course, this gold lead is so big, there really is not much of a risk in any of the pushes they go for. Still up to what they decide to do to close this game out. Imagine would need a small miracle, maybe a perfect Gragas ulti into a last breath from Yasuo. Could be a lot of burst. Man, have to do the same. I mean, there are very many likely 3-man knockups. And maybe that's the way in. And a big keep fight happens, and Alex loses all his damage to Windwall. It'll take a lot, though. Renegades pushing up the bot lane. Azir turret buys a little bit of time, but not all that much. Loses armor and MR if Azir's not around. Makes it easy to kill. Good to go for maybe inhibitor number 2. The whole team is there, but there's no wave just yet. That seems like a badly timed Ezreal, though, because there's literally 15 seconds. Look at the minion wave.
Yeah, there's no minion wave.
Ezreal's going to heal to full before the minion wave reaches. Yeah, Alex has low cooldowns, but it's just a waste. Small misplay. How dare you, Alex Itch? Here's the next wave. Oh, Baby goes in for the play. They do what they can. They get for the knockouts, but Baby and ManCloud already are dead. Nothing doing for the Imagine squad. 3 killed already. They go for the play. I think it was the right choice to try to find an engage, but it's not going to be enough. 3 for 0. Second of him going down. They're going to go for the base.
They're going to go for the base here, see if they can pick up more kills. They have the super minion wave pouring down the middle now. They have this wave in the bottom side that has a boosted minion. They're ready to just end the game.
They've got so much damage to go in. 6-0 Renegades, an under 29-minute win after a close and contested early game. A great mid and late game for Renegades. 6-0, they're going to playoffs.
Very close early game, like you said. Great pick composition that they executed on in the mid game. Maple Street having great follow-up. Remilia doing the best she possibly could, and it was absolutely brilliant to watch. That's a great game there from Remilia. Hook after hook after hook. I was saying I was Alex Each centered. Turned out not to be so Alex Each centered in terms of execution if you're just picking people off all the time and exploiting their mistakes.
Yeah, it's true, and a lot of things got exploited. And some of them, this is what I really love, is really good League of Legends players basically invent ganks. They create situations that didn't exist before. One thing that I really, really liked was 15 minutes into the game, in the bot lane, Crumbs ulted to a tunnel in the river brush, and they got stand united on. There was no one on that side of the map except a tunnel, and suddenly a 2-man gank onto the Yasuo who has no backup at all. Even if your wards are great, if there's a tunnel around, you can suddenly 2-on-1 him. That's a really, really good gank. I'm glad to see that kind of stuff happen, because you just don't expect it very often. And it's just, I don't have the right vocabulary to describe why I like it, but just, it's, Crumbs decided this was going to happen, and it did.
Yeah, I think that's in the Rek'Sai champion spotlight somewhere. Rek'Sai ultis in, Shen comes in, and TF comes in too.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
3 people out of nowhere. So this is going to be broken, and we just saw it today. It looks pretty fun.
Only took one more person.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was really, really well played. Definitely a really fun one. Renegades 6-0, as I said, are going to playoffs for sure. Now, it depends what seed they get. There are no buys in the Challenger Series playoffs, but 1 through 4 does matter. Depends who you play in the first round here. We're looking at teams like Coast, who are incredibly scary teams. And the only team, actually, that looks playoff bound that Renegades haven't beaten yet. They 2-0'd Renegades. They already 2-0'd Cloud9 Tempest. Those are the other heavy favorites here. Those are actually the only other teams with wins, right? Those are the teams you expect to see in the playoffs. And so the future matchup against Coast will be a fun one. And also, I think Renegades dodging them in playoffs might be very important as well.
That's game 1 next week.
Yeah.
Coast versus Renegades. That's the game I'm looking most forward to out of the entire season.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're definitely seeing some very clear winners. I think there's also some hope for Imagine. I mean, they are currently the 4th place team at 2-4. We may see them go into the playoffs, and we saw them have a solid first 10 minutes, solid first 20 minutes maybe in their second game, or sorry, in game 1 yesterday against Renegades. So you can see that Imagine are contenders. The individual players are very good. You're seeing their bot lane is fine. Their lane swap game, they already learned that pretty quickly. But the mid-game shot calling, you said, their reluctance to group, their ability to get picked off, it's happening a little bit too much. It's going to take a bit more for Imagine to get on that footing.
But if they do make playoffs off of the record that they already have, the 2 and 4, they are going to be able to have more time to synergize. And that's a big thing if they're able to pick up some wins later on.
All right, we'll see if Imagine can make that road happen. But for now, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, then we have another rematch. It's going to be between Cloud9 Tempest and WinterFox. Don't go anywhere. Fox Ignite, everything used. Pops ulti to look for RF. Gets a shield. ManCloud stays alive. Oh, he dodges a true shot barrage. A big flank kill goes through to Alex, and in comes Yasuo to the back line, but won't do nearly enough damage. Chunky Fresh flashes the wall. Oh, Baby goes in for the play. They do what they can to get for the knockouts, but Baby and ManCloud already are dead. Nothing doing.
Give me a fat beat!
Hey everyone, welcome back to the North American Challenger Series. The players for tonight's second matchup are readying up in the pregame lobby. So as we wait for Champion Select, here's a recap from last night's bout between WinterFox and Cloud9 Tempest. WinterFox off to a very slow start in the split, 0-4 heading into this one against a 2-2 C9T.
Yeah, and they brought back Shorter Ace from Moon, who we saw last week, coming back into the jungle here. Avalon, this game, actually has a really good game on that top lane Fizz. And when we look over at Cloud9 Tempest composition, it's Yasui and Laud focused. Again, they like to fall back on these guys, and it works out for them this time.
Yep, 2 carries and a bunch of tanks. Let's see ourselves getting into the game and see just how it unfolds. And it starts out with an interesting lane swap situation where Pinoy and Lopali try to kill the turret.
Whoa.
The turret gets angry.
The gank! The gank! Turret! Oh my god! One. I was gonna get it! Oh!
Yep. The turret revenge kill was
The turret came out of nowhere, man!
But here we go, WinterFox looking to secure, but no, it's going to be the steal from Hard. Again, more Dragon steals, a lot of burst comes through, which does mean Hard goes down. Avalon gets first blood, but can't get himself out, and it's a 1-for-1 overall with the Dragon steal for C9T.
But WinterFox trying to exploit C9T here. The flash forward, Laud has to flash back, and then they all jump in, and Avalon just finds Yasui on the back line by himself, kills him, and then kills Hard right after. WinterFox ends up getting a gold lead here over C9T.
Yeah, WinterFox really starting to do a whole lot better now in their early to mid game. Avalon being pretty big. They even get a Baron off of that one. Now we fast forward to Baron number 2. This is farther in the future. Still a bit of a lead for WinterFox, but this time Yasui gets some real peel. Shark comes in, tries to get away, gets a shield. Peel from Hard with the ulti. Peel with the body slam, and out he goes.
Ultimately, looks like a 1-for-1 that's going through here for WinterFox and C9T, but still 4K gold advantage. Hard. Oh!
Still can't get him. Lantern away, and you're seeing the fights get closer and closer now. 4,000 gold game, now 3,000 gold game, and this is the fight that breaks the camel's back. Laud is safe. Sheep flashes to shield and then goes for the peel again.
Catch onto Laud there, and you can see Yasui's off on the side, just comes in, starts pelting out damage across everybody, picks up Shorter Ace there, who still doesn't have that many items in the tank. He's still rather squishy, 0-4 for this match so far.
Yeah, the backline damage just doesn't happen. They can't really reach Laud or Yasui. The Fizz and a Ziggs follow-up just isn't going to happen, and Avalon trying to make the big play just gets caught out, gets queued, gets anchored. Goodbye. C9T finally clawing their way back in. They get Baron, they get a gold lead. Archsecond gets zapped, and goodbye. Yeah.
80% HP just gone like that, and that is the signal to go for C9T. Immediately, they don't care who they get on, they just want anybody, and they pick up Shorter Ace here.
It's a 5v4 with the Ziggs dead. He had summoners, didn't use them to get away, didn't see the damage coming. 51 minutes for this team fight, but a 5v4 is a 5v4. Do what you want, Avalon. Even if you're 4-3 on this Fizz, it's not going to be good for you. And slowly and surely, C9T get the pickups, Shorter Ace goes down, Avalon getting chased away, and just gives them all the time in the world to knock this game down. 2-minute game. Down it goes.
He's 100 CS up, too, in that top lane. Avalon just has a great performance in that game. 4-4-1, 100 CS up over his lane opponent solo, but he's still not able to carry the game. And Pinoy ends the game 3-1-5. His only death was to that turret execute, and then Yasui was a huge part of Cloud9 Tempest there. Majority damage, most damage in that game, and just amazing all-around Ezreal play. Even from behind, he was staying safe with people diving him like the Fizz.
Yeah, and you saw really good adaptations. Hard with the dedicated peel from Gragas, I think, was definitely very valuable there, and it was a pretty important thing for the team. They kept their backline alive against a very scary Fizz Ziggs sort of dive combo, and that Ziggs can help deal the damage. So as we look into this game, we're going to be looking out specifically for the AD carry from Cloud9 Tempest. Laud, he had a very good game on Jinx as well. 5-1-5, gives good interviews, plays AD carries really well. Honestly, just one of the best players in Challenger right now.
Yeah, especially the interview part.
Yeah, seriously, this guy's a pleasure to talk to. But yeah, I mean, this is a player who is just very, very, very consistent, puts up really good score lines. Even in C9T's losses, he looked okay despite the fact that they were losing to Renegades.
He's reliable. He's a very reliable AD carry. I wouldn't mind building a composition around him, and it seems like C9T sometimes don't mind that either. They're okay with putting some weight on Yasui, some weight on Laud, and they usually share that burden with Hard and Solo playing tanky roles in Sheep as well. So they have shot callers in a lot of their tanks too.
Yeah, and the thing is Solo has played one game that wasn't on Maokai or Shen. He played a single Rumble game in their matchup against Renegades that didn't go very well. Otherwise, he's been playing all tanks. Rek'Sai, Gragas, Evelynn, standard tank junglers as well from hard. We're not seeing him go for the Nidalee. We're not seeing him go for the carry style. It's really just about those two big carries. And I want to see if C9T ever adapts that style. Two carry styles was kind of all the rage earlier this year. It's like the big TSM style. It was the big CLG style last year as well. There's a lot of good North American teams that played that way, but we see teams like Team Liquid or Dignitas who are happy to carry from the top lane, and it works really well. Gravity does that as well. And there's plenty of examples of big carry top laners. I think it's good to have it in the playbook at the very least, even if it's not every single game.
We saw a mixture of it too. When people went to MSI,
yeah,
people were playing Gnar like a carry, people were playing a lot of top lane Hecarim as a carry, and then we saw things like Maokai come back into the mix that became extremely popular. So I liked just watching the top lane meta kind of evolve. And when I talk to Solo, he draws a lot of inspiration from Marin over on SKT, so he kind of likes to follow his champion pool. So if Marin performs well on Fizz, it's like, okay, I'll probably play Fizz today. Marin performs well on Hecarim, it's like, okay, maybe I want to play Hecarim today. He's basically trying to just mimic everything he does and find the success that he is.
I mean, if you're going to mimic any one team, I feel like SKT is one of the best teams to mimic, so I'm going to say that's a fine way to go about this one. We'll see what happens in Champs League for this one, though. Keep in mind, Avalon had a great Fizz game himself, and so far that hasn't been banned away. We saw it force banned in our Game 2 of the Imagine series, where they had to get away from Chunky Fresh. Avalon finally finding success. I mean, keep in mind, he had 1 kill total in Challenger up until that game where he got 4 more. This was finally something successful for Avalon. It's either we're seeing the teams just start to get better as a unit, or we're seeing just the players improve dramatically week to week. But C9T, all 3 bans down. Avalon may be allowed to play that champion. Meanwhile, 3 bans at Arc Second. All the poke is gone. Well, some of the poke is gone.
Yeah, Arc Second just pretty much plays everything poke.
Yep. There's still like Varus and Jace and Kog'Maw.
He still has Azir, still has Varus, still has Kog'Maw, Azir, those types of champions. Jace, like you said. So I want to see what he ends up picking here. Sivir taken off the table. And Laud doesn't go for Jinx here. He goes for Kalista because of the Sivir ban.
Yeah, I think it's a big deal here. Honestly, also, we haven't even seen Kalista bans against C9T just yet, but Laud, of course, a very good player. Kalista, widely considered the best AD carry in the game right here, and not that you'd pick Sivir into Kalista anyway, but Sivir is off the table and not something that WinterFox would have wanted to play regardless, but certainly won't be allowed to after that ban. Sivir ban may be just useless after all.
Yeah. Cloud9 Tempest were running a lot of Sivir compositions in the Challenger series.
Yeah.
Outside tournaments, he got his hands on it one time, 5-1-11 on that Sivir game, but when you give Sivir to Cloud9 Tempest, it just completely changes the landscape of what they're going to play, and they're just going to play Trample all over you. And it's worked so far for them.
Well, this is interesting. C9T, maybe they can't play Trample, but WinterFox actually hopping off what made them successful before. So even though Hard is only playing tank junglers, they grabbed the early Nidalee pickup anyway for shorter race. And even though Fizz was so good, they grabbed the Shen regardless. So WinterFox having their own ideas of what they think is best. Of course, they're trying to take the Shen away from Solo, who's been so good at those top lane tanks. Shorter race maybe set up to carry here as one of the big damage sources of the team.
Yeah, he also has heal too, so if they go for a poke composition on C9T side, you negate a little bit of that strategy and bolster your own poke composition. So with 3 bans at Arc Second, there's still, like you said, a lot of poke champions on the table, so I assume they're going to go with one of them later on because of this pick.
Well, meanwhile, Cloud9 Tempest going full team fight here, though. Thresh pretty standard pickup for themselves, but also Yasui on the Azir, a very successful sort of mid-range mage. And the carry threat is going to be massive. Now, Shen can also go for the big plays, but Shen can be killed by an Azir as well. Kalista has enough damage output on top of an Azir that it should be fine. And it's always going to be scary. WinterFox going to go for the Corki themselves, and maybe this Morgana here. And this screams poke. Black Shield disengage, Dark Binding poke, Rockets and Javelins poke, and I think we're going to see that Varus with that Jace.
Yeah, Shen just seems to go into most poke compositions. If they even get to your backline, you have a Shen ultimate after you've gone into their backline. So it's a big shield, a lot of protection, a lot of disengage. Not so much disengage, peel, I'll put it that way.
Yeah, peel.
Peel, really good peel there. Able to just keep them safe. And Corki as well, another great poke champion to just synergize with all of this. It is very magic damage heavy though, between the Nidalee and the Corki. So if that's why
I say AD mids, you know. I don't think the Kog'Maw would make a lot of sense here. So we'll see if that goes that way. Either way, Cloud9 Tempest to me, right, you're already screaming poke comp. I want to see them go for the hard engage. They've already picked their mid lane pick. If Solo plays top Jarvan, I think it would work here. Scion, I don't think Maokai gets in. Without a Sivir, Maokai's not reaching that back line. And he's telegraphed, meaning Black Shield works against it. I really want to see you know, like something that doesn't get black shielded hard engaged, like something like at least a Sign would reach, but like a Jarvan, like a Cataclysm would get you in there and keep them in the same place. Not gonna be the case though. Top lane, Fizz gonna come through for a solo, so we are gonna see a top lane carry threat. Fizz into Shen, thinks it'll go well for him. Meanwhile, an easy Rek'Sai pick for hard. And we'll have to see if they can get in.
Marin played a good Fizz game, so I
there you
guess
go.
Solo's gonna play a good Fizz game. He's gonna play a Fizz game. We don't know if it's good just yet. We'll see.
All right, well, the full comp is here for Cloud9 Tempest. It does, the thing is, I don't like Fizz here because there's no one that can help him kill people. Like, he can be disruptive, and that might be enough to break the battle lines and allow Azir to, like, do follow-up damage, but there's no direct Fizz synergy at all in this composition. I'm not that big of a fan. We'll have to see how it pans out, though. C9T, if they get ahead, it's going to be fine.
Yeah, if they get ahead, they'll be able to break through the poke pattern, but if they get behind, they're just going to be completely oppressed by this composition that Winterfox is drafting for themselves.
Even their wave clear sucks.
Their wave clear is pretty...
Azir.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And Azir doesn't even have a frontliner to help him, so Winterfox, if they can reach him with the Shen, it's going to be a problem.
Yep.
It's going to be a big problem.
All right, well, more disengaged tools. And actually, in retrospect, I actually like the Jace a lot more than the Varus. Even though Varus does poke a lot more, Jace has the acceleration gate to get his team out. All C9T can do is run at you. There's no hard engage, there's no Sejuani, there's no Sivir, there's not even an Annie to start the fight out. So C9T picked all their good engage roles first and didn't pick engage champions. And that's going to make it a bit harder. Now, now I understand why Winterfox went for the Sivir ban and the Alistar ban, right? Obviously, they're good champions, but they're specifically good against poke champions. So healing support and engage AD carry. Winterfox now hoping to disengage as much as they can, play full poke, and it's something that they're good at. It's something that ArcSecond is very good at, and maybe they can make that style work.
Yeah, and if you look at those picks and bans over again, just the bans themselves, they banned away some hard engaged champs, but that's because they were seeing all these poke bans come through. They're getting the Xerath, the Ziggs, and the Ezreal off the field. You're immediately thinking, they want to run a team fight composition, or they want to run a poke comp themselves. So you start taking the hard engage off of it just to make sure, and then they draft themselves a team, and you're like, okay, they didn't get hard engaged. They didn't go for this composition because they didn't get Sivir, but we're still going to go with poke because we have more options, even though a lot is banned out.
And essentially the C9T thought is they thought they banned enough good poke that there was no poke comps left that are worth being afraid for. We'll see that actually happens here in this one because as the teams load onto the Rift, exercise your right to tweet. Let us know who you think is going to win this match by tweeting hashtag C9TWin or hashtag WFXWin to @LOL Esports, and we'll check the vote in just a couple of minutes. And I got to say, although I imagine the vote will be pretty one-sided since Winterfox are winless and C9T are honestly doing pretty well so far in Challenger, we're seeing the games get a whole lot closer.
Yes.
Like, we're seeing so many less blowouts. Winterfox actually had a good game for themselves. They brought C9T to 52 minutes. They had a gold lead in the first Baron halfway through the game. We even saw Imagine have a very strong couple of games against Imagine where the first 15 minutes on average was a win for them.
Yep.
And the question is, can these teams actually close out the back half of it? Because right now, the comebacks keep happening for the favorites.
Yeah, it was about 5,000, 4,000 gold lead at one point in favor of Winterfox over C9T. And like you said, 52.5 minutes. The only team in the top half between RNG, C9T, and Coast that hasn't had a game at all where they've looked like they've slipped a little bit is Coast so far.
Yeah.
RNG and C9T both had some big challenges this week for themselves. Ooh, that was smooth. One hit, just
it's supposed to be fairly easy, I suppose, right? Press W immediately, hit it, press W again on the 1 second cooldown for the second soldier, and he kills it. So 10 free gold, although Pinoy got a ward kill as well. We missed it, but Pinoy did the exact same thing. I'm sure Low Pally helped him.
Or was it a Sentinel kill?
Oh, it could have been a Sentinel. Either way, it's still 10 gold.
It's true. Yeah, it's most likely a Sentinel.
Whatever, don't correct me with your logic. Has no place here.
Okay.
Defensive Sentinel usage.
I like potato helicopter marmalade.
That's good to know.
Sorry, I went with something illogical.
I would totally eat. Like, if you make a helicopter out of potatoes and drink marmalade in it, I would eat that.
Telephone pole spirit wire.
That's actually still okay, because telephone poles have wires in them that bring essentially spirits, if you count electrons as that.
Oh, man.
They're like a little bit ethereal.
Yeah.
I'm still turning around what you're saying. This is cute, though. So Winterfox, unsure whether it's going to be lane swap or not, are going to try to build a freeze. And with oh, no, just kidding. They're actually going to go for the invade on the Krugs. They will get the small one easily, though. Every team should always get the small one first. They get it, they back out. There's really nothing lost here. Pinoy doesn't even land the harass. Sheep turns around in time. Body not too bad either. So small Krug taken, all is well. Winter Fox are going to duo jungle a little bit. Avalon got solo Gromp XP, interestingly. And Shorter Ace do what he can to limp through the jungle.
Smite it. Give your top laner all the experience. Nidalee can do this. She has a fairly easy clear. She can get Scuttle Crab by fairly early in the game, even out the experience afterwards.
That was interesting. So Low Pally tried to go for the big play to like go through the brush and zone out C9T, and they said, screw that, we're just going to kill your AD carry. Actually, honestly, I would say better played by C9T, pushing the Corki around, and Pinoy already down, lost potion, down at half health as well. The bindings don't even matter. C9T definitely winning this lane already.
Yeah, after getting the small Krug, you give yourselves that experience advantage, and they both got to lane at the same time. Nobody shoved it, and then they ended up exerting their dominance. They got the lane pressure. Pinoy already using his potion, so Lod, tiny advantages that are adding up.
We're going to watch now as Shorter Ace continues to go through his jungle pretty safely. Arc Second is fine against Yusui, doing good damage as well. The top lane matchup also equal, so it's basically just the AD carry support matchup slightly winning for C9T. We'll see if it manifests into a minion lead or not. You can always try to sustain back up. Maybe that will happen, but close game otherwise. Avalon and Solo just trading farm. Junglers right now, we have Rek'Sai up at the bot lane. Nidalee still is hard farming. Looks like an easy red buff for Shorter Ace, and
looks like he's going top. Oh, juked him. Where's he going?
Trying to do?
Where you going, Shorter?
Okay, he's just
All
farming.
right.
I think he wanted to make sure there's no like aggressive pink ward in that brush. Sometimes people will like recall off their second camp or something, put a pink ward down and hope to be cute, but not gonna happen here.
Well, Hard might go for it right now. He has a pink ward in his inventory. He's heading towards that area.
Tried a little bit early. Maybe I'll try again later. All right, Shorter Ace gonna recall. Easily gonna be able to get the upgraded smite that he needs, and probably some potions of his own, some wards of his own, double green wards for him with Trailblazer. So in the rune, or the Runeglaive world of Nidalee, we've seen Chilling Smite from Rush, and we still see some players happy to go for the Blasting Smite, keep their health bar up even higher. I actually really like the idea of Chilling Smite Nidalee. I think it makes a lot of sense.
Just that extra damage burst is really nice as well. Slowing people for that next spear.
And it looks like Winter Fox managed to get back where they needed to be in this bot lane. They lost the
Ward
potion,
going down.
but
There's the pink ward.
all right, there's the aggressive pink ward.
See what happens with it. Looks like they're wrapping around Arc Second right now.
Solo looking for the play into Arc Second. There's a jump over the wall. Arc Second's got to run. He's going to get flashed. Knockout's going to flash away himself. Runs through the gate, but a lot of damage comes through from Solo. Knocked back, and oh, the soldier comes through. Yusui gets first blood. Great play, C9T.
3 people show up mid to kill Arc Second. They get his flash. They get so much out of him. You have to imagine that that was going to happen. They had the ward off on the left side, and Solo had just left top lane.
Yeah, that should have been a call, honestly, from Avalon. Oh, that's the problem of having non-native language speakers on your lineup there. Just sometimes the communication barrier. The communication barrier, if that was the problem after all.
I think we just experienced one right there.
Yeah, I'm not great at English today. I apologize, everyone. Hard to farm as best he can and get that gold income going through. Despite that first blood, the Winter Fox are basically tied in gold. Shorter Ace is farming so much more than the opposing jungler that he's up 100. The top lane, pretty much just gold ends up equalizing because despite that kill, the farm keeps the money basically the same.
Short Ace having effective uptime, getting a lot of the scuttle crabs for himself early on. And that's what does it. It's about an 80 gold swing when you do that. Hit.
Ooh, close one. If that javelin hit, Yusui might have died, but sidestep just enough. Arc Second gets some poke, but not much else. And again, dodging away from the javelins.
Those nerfs to the width of the javelin. Finally showing itself. Rearing its head. It happened. It actually happened.
The nerf mattered.
Woo!
Yay! All right, well, we sit on a tied game, regardless of what the kill score would show you. Winter Fox fans so far can feel secure. Solo did go for the Doran's Blade, interestingly enough. Not one that I see all that often in Fizz matchups, but Avalon not harassing too terribly much on this level 6 Shen. But with Standing United up, it means many less plays can be made by C9T. Standing United can always turn those things around. And the Shark would not stun him in time to stop the channel, I believe. So Solo could not stop Avalon from showing up in any possible way. But Avalon does have taunt for that Purpose himself. A nice little ping there by the red team, putting out that Hard is near this side of the jungle. Some aggressive wards by Shorter Race. Managed to track him on his movements.
Oh, man. If you stand united with a fish on you, though, you just deliver the fish to whoever you were on.
Yeah. You pay a little bit more for the delivery. It's fine. Shorter Race understanding that that gank could have happened. It gets tracked by the Tremor Sense. And now Hard knows to really not try this. He jumps back over the wall, and out he goes. He knows to be afraid of the Nidalee, and rightly so. And the thing is, Shorter Race got tracked. So, like, Shorter Race does not realize that he got spotted, but he got spotted. This gank shouldn't work. Unless he really anticipates. You know, Hard was probably nearby and burrowed. He might have seen me. But that's a lot of jumps to go through to think of that.
Right now, you're also going to know that Hard is on the top side of the jungle because you saw Yasui move to his blue buff. You don't move to the blue buff just to go kill it by yourself.
I mean, wards see him go there as well,
Yeah.
so they know blue buff timer. They know that there's no counter gank right now, but everyone recalls away. So 61 CS on this Shen. He's going to go ahead and buy something. Bomby Cinder. Okay, going for the fast Sunfire Cape. Even though he's facing Fizz, I guess it is AD Fizz, but it's still hybrid damage. But Avalon, his goal is to push the wave as much as possible to try to keep Solo under his turret, and that will, again, give him the recall edge. Avalon should pretty much never miss CS because of this.
Yeah, you pretty much need the Bomby Cinder at least. Gives you the wave clear, adds more damage to your key strike.
Ooh, interesting. Shorter Race actually has grabbed his own blue buff. He didn't give that one over to Arcsecond, so even though C19 tried to steal it away, it didn't happen.
Yeah, he's also got a tier 2, so that's pretty big. The fact that Arcsecond didn't get that, Yasui has his. They're both rather blue buff dependent champions.
Yeah, I would say Nidalee a bit less so, though, with
Oh, I was talking about
Glaive. Oh, the mid laner,
Azir
sorry.
and Jace.
Ah, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I would yell at my Nidalee for taking it. Be like, you have Rune Glaive.
It's funny how times
Leave it
have
alone.
changed, because I remember back in Spring Split this year, it was a big boon for Cloud9 proper for High to play like Yasuo or Zed so they could give the blues to media so we could hard farm more. And now it's just a luxury that you don't really need anymore.
It's the upside of Rune Glaive. But they didn't use it, so it doesn't matter.
More infinite mana.
We're stuck in spring.
Did you know there are infinite amounts of infinity?
Really?
Yeah.
Infinite amount.
So we'll get more to that in a little bit. Shorter Race just gets freaking destroyed in his jungle. Solo gets double buff, says thank you very much. And that's going to be a lot of power going through. But still, the kills only mean gold is equal. Winter Fox are winning the farm game, mostly in the top lane, actually. Like, even with Solo getting that kill, he still has the same gold as Avalon.
Solo just gets to leave top lane all the time and just kill somebody.
Avalon doesn't let people know that it happened.
Yeah. And surprise, Avalon has ulti still, too. He's not helping
God.
Shorter Race out.
Yeah, I don't know if he would have lived because Solo was doing a lot of damage there, but yeah, that's rough. I feel like this is communication barrier really rearing its head right now, and Solo getting the benefit of that. I was looking for the gank in the top lane. They've got Hard nearby. Red buff slow. Avalon, good luck with this one. Taunts away, but actually no gank comes through.
He left. Hard decided it's time to go to a different lane. He wasted too much time. I waited there 2 seconds. Wasn't ready for the gank. Not going to happen.
He slowed him with the red buff.
Not going to happen.
Oh my gosh. All right, well,
Jungler times are precious.
Shorter Race does slink into the brush here. Low Pally, I don't think he has any way of making this happen. Lod can push out Sheep, and yeah, all is well.
Yeah, Low Pally just fishing.
One of the safest dual lanes ever. I don't know why they're trying to gank this so hard. Oh, he's going to go right now. Pushing for Lod. The flash comes in. Low Pally gets the ulti onto Sheep, but the lantern keeps everyone safe. The stuns shouldn't matter. Wow, and Shorter gets killed under the turret. I don't know why you ganked that lane, but C9T outplayed it beautifully.
Holy moly, dude. He just got pushed under turret immediately. They looked like they were going to be able to get all the summoner spells. They did, and Lod still had heal. And he also had his ultimate to just use on Sheep. That's why when you find that opportunity and you jump on the support and you just have split focused, it's definitely not going to work out.
Yeah, and Avalon had his ulti.
Yeah.
Still.
Man.
I really like him much more in Fizz. He had, like, it has to be communication. There's no other excuse for missing literally 2 straight ultis and missing 2 roams from your top laner.
Yeah. He also had TP. Is his TP down right now?
He TP'd to go
down.
back top lane to get the farm back, I think, which is fine.
Well, you could have used your ultimate down bottom and then
Yeah.
TP'd back to top lane.
No, yeah, I mean, obviously he should have ulted. Like, That's not even in the consideration here. That should have happened straight up. So Cloud9 Tempest once again get the kill, and this time around that gold lead actually sticks here. They're up about 800 because of this. Mid lane farm is going fine. The Dragon Atempt's going to be pretty easy. BF sword on Lod. Blue team gets Dragon number 1. The first one, though, pretty late in the game, 12 minutes in. But it's a nice surge of stats for the guys, and Corellinomicon done on Yasui. He's got to feel happy about that.
He got that early blue buff, was able to farm. He's still a little bit down below Arc second, just because the poke pattern is really oppressive. But now Arc is going to be checking in on when he can transform this. This is a guy, he got ganked very early on. 280, so it's very recent that he's been able to stack that up. He's looking for about a 24, 25-minute completion on it.
Yeah. Third of the way. We'll see how it goes for the rest of this one. Hard still doing the farm as best he can, and actually that gold gap between him and Shorter Race is actually flipped the other way around. Hard is now ahead in gold, despite the fact that he hasn't gotten any assists since that first blood. But the farm has started to equalize here, and Shorter Race spending time ganking, failing, getting invaded,
dying.
spending time dying. The invade from Solo was absolutely awesome. Stealing double buffs away was massive. Yasui getting pushed around still a little bit, and Arc Second is safe on his sort of hunt to push mid lane in, but just not a lot really showing for it. Mid lane turret well above half HP, not really in danger. In fact, Yasui's done more damage than Arc Second has. Shorter tries again for the bot lane. Javelin again misses. Bucks the reward doing it anyway.
Yeah, Arc Second's going to be a big part of this game for Winter Fox. He's always a big part of every game that he's in, regardless of the team.
Still tries one more time for the fight. You can see, though, Avalon just doesn't really take damage in the matchup. Sunfire Cape's still burning down. Solo, he's not going to win this fight. Ignite goes in, but the shield comes in. Avalon wins the heads-up 1v1. I'm going to say worth it for Winter Fox here. And when he comes back to respawn, he's got the ulti up, so he can still help his team, and Solo can't easily.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God, these skill shots just won't hit C9T. That's 3 javelins and like 2 dark bindings in a row now. Blood has to have tons of money right now. Black.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's got Bloodthirster by far.
BT.
Yeah.
2,300.
Pinoy's at Triforce, though, right now. Like, this is enough money to recall for a Trinity Force. So, power spikes here for the AD carries. Dragon is down, though, so it just means Winter Fox, nothing to play for. They can shove this wave in, probably buy afterwards. This should be wave cleared. Here we go. And time to buy your items. You can fight back in lane because you're facing Bloodthirster. Hard will try to stop recalls, though, and he should be able to.
Winter Fox, Avalon, and Arc Second are extremely strong in this game. Just the picks that they've solidified for themselves. The Shen, the Jace, is going to do a lot of work up against this team composition that C9T has. Remember, it's hard for this composition to engage, and as Shen gets tankier and Shen is just having an okay game, he's able to save his squishies from people like Fizz.
Very true.
So as this game progresses, it's the execution of Avalon and Arc Second that could actually pull out a win here for Winter Fox. 300 gold difference despite being 4-1 in kills.
Yep.
And Avalon is just going to win this matchup.
He didn't even buy Magic Resist against Fizz, and Solo, of course, is obliging by going Trinity Force, but...
Magic Resist per level, baby. Shen buffs.
Yeah, I mean, he's got plenty. Look, his actual stats right now, 69 MR, but 155 armor. I mean, certainly it's a disparity here, but Trinity Force nearly done on this Fizz. Trinity Force already done for Pinoy here. And keep in mind also, it is Warrior Enchant hard. Warrior Enchant Rek'Sai, rather. So the late game also is a bit worse from the junglers here, as Shorter Race is still power farming. The tier, a pretty strong late game power spike. Javelin poke finally does land, pushes Sheep away, and the first turn of the game goes to Winter Fox plus the gold lead.
And they can see that Hard is on the top side of the map. They know he's very squishy as well. So that allowed Shorter Race to shove the bottom lane. That's one of my favorite things to do as a Nidalee, is you just show up to the bottom lane, you show up to any lane, and you just siege. You poke, you poke, you poke. The enemy jungler has to either flank you or try to break the siege, because you're just going to keep poking. You can heal, you can do so many different things. And look at this duel's going to happen again. Solo wants a piece of this.
I mean, he gets some damage done, but even with the Shark, Avalon wins the trade straight up. You can see the damage that Q deals. Like, the thing is, Fizz doesn't have the kind of damage to break through the sustained tanking of Shen. Now, mid lane getting pushed around. Yasui forced well far back. The poke has begun. Oh, the big play to Low Pally. The hook onto Pinoy. Shen ulti finally comes in. Sheep might die because of the Ignite anyway.
Stay in.
Pushes out, and wow, invulnerable. I didn't know actually they were invulnerable during that, so survives the Ignite. I learned something today, even though I play Callista. My supports apparently never learned that.
Yeah,
that's wise. They would keep leaving.
They throw
die
themselves
anyway.
out. They're just like, oh, wait.
It's never my fault they die. It's never my fault they
He got
die.
back in the Pokeball
He left the Pokeball.
afterwards. He stayed in there long enough.
No, hey, Sheep did, yeah.
Yeah.
Sheep is a good little Pokemon. Not one of those Pikachu jerks who just refuses to stay in.
How do you heal him? You never get to heal him.
I know.
You can't take him to a Poke Center. They don't treat him like normal people. They need the ball. Get in the ball, Pikachu. Sorry, just...
Yeah, refused to take Thunderstone as well, even though he'd already learned Quick
You
Attack.
would have been way better as a Raichu. Raichu, whatever.
It's close enough, but we are in a gold lead for Winter Fox. Their first win of the split. I don't think many people would have expected the game to go this well for Winter Fox, but honestly, we're seeing the challenger teams, the bottom challenger teams especially, get better over time. Now Pinoy forced to 1v1 up against
Here
Lod.
comes TP from Avalon. He's ready to help him, though. Pinoy needs to go back towards
Well,
this
we'll
guy.
see if he can win. It's a 2 versus 3, though, and the Trinity Force damage not always that high. Forced to jump away. Easy kill for Lod. There's the Ren, and Avalon realized way too late that he'd already lost the fight, but he's got...
Man, is everybody here, though?
It's coming
If they
in.
land this,
Binding
they're
hits
gonna go-
hard.
Oh.
Whoa!
What?
Solo misplays the fish, and Low Pally with the stun of the ulti trying to dodge away. The sheep hook not going to mad life it right. Low Pally gets the bind, gets killed off by Lot though.
Oh, the cute.
And out they go. All right, that is definitely a fight win for C9T.
These skill shots, just fish over there, hook over there.
Well, that's so this is the known teleport bug though. If you hit skill shots while channeling teleport, it'll go a random direction essentially. Everyone knows this bug already, especially top laners. Right click once, put a move command in, then cast your fish.
Shorter?
He's probably dead. He's dead.
Oh.
Goodbye, Yasui, 7th kill of the game. And yet again, it only ties the gold game here. Winter Fox earning a lot of money, but it will be Dragon number 2 to C9T, so they're still winning the game, just not by all that much.
They have to be able to take down these structures, though. That bot lane turret is in danger of going down and giving C9T a large advantage, or a small advantage off of the turret. It's about 1,000 gold.
Thing is, I can't imagine Winter Fox realizes the gold is this close.
Oh yeah, you have to be more afraid than this, but when you go and you do that gut check, when you walk up as Avalon 2 solo and you start trading with him, you realize, oh, this guy isn't that strong.
Ooh, almost got the buff, but Hard does get the steal away, so it doesn't go to Yasui, but it's certainly not going to Arcsecond, who has still, I believe, not gotten a blue buff all game. This poor Jace doing what he can to farm, but just doesn't have the same tools that the other people do. Mid lane turret might die for this one. You're going to see the poke try to come back through. But Solo able to deal a little bit of damage. They go for the big play, but yeah, really not going to happen. I don't know if that was the right call. I don't think they knew Sheep was around.
Avalon just wants to walk up and hit the turret, too.
They're probably going to get it off this wave. I mean, the force push may work after all.
Well,
they're a good Jedi.
Right now, Avalon should have stayed top.
And knock that turret down.
Nice one.
Thanks.
Hit the turret, and then if they ever try to engage while you're sieging this turret,
yeah,
you use your ult.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Because Solo has no TP. That's one of the great advantages of Shen, is that you get to force the enemy top laner to run around the map when he doesn't have TP.
But now we have teleports on the same cooldown, and it's only a 40-second difference between Standard Edit being up and the Fizz teleport being up, so a very small window that Winter Fox could use, and it's not even going to be for another minute and a half. Top lane is going to get pushed in, and he doesn't have a lot of resistance up there, though, so we might just see that turret go down regardless. Avalon has nearly already killed that turret. It's down below a quarter. And maybe Winter Fox gets their second turret kill of the game, which will put them back to tied in gold.
And this is a tier composition here, double tier from Winter Fox. So as the game goes on longer, they'll have those transformations. They'll have the Seraph's Embrace on the shorter. Hard.
The Javelin gets him! What a nice play there. Avalon nearly pulled him too far away, but the turret will go down, ties the game back up. 300 lead, actually, and Lod wants in. He looks for Arcsecond. He's not going to get him. And Sheep goes, hey, why did I even go that way? I don't know why you did go that way, but you're okay. He missed. How did you miss that shock blast?
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm on edge right now.
You're tilted. Freak's tilted.
I've been tilted.
He's tilted. Too many skill shots flying in random directions.
Hopefully the show can right itself and I can be untilted. 500 gold lead back again for Cloud9 Tempest. Mid lane turret summoned by Yasui to keep the wave pressured. Pinoy been kind of forced to play a split, like a defensive split push and just collect farm, which is not how you want to use a mid-game spiked Corki. He's on Triforce Sword Shoes. That is pretty much the best spike you'll ever get for Corki, but unable to use it.
So when I talked to some members of WinterFox, they were telling me Avalon is 50-50. He's either going to lose you the game or he's going to win you the game. Right now, it's looking like he's winning them the game.
He's doing both at the same
really
time.
hard. Okay.
He has like...
That's true. He's 50-50. Wild card. You don't know if Avalon's going to save you with his Stand United or if he's going to farm a wave.
He's got like Season 3 world status penalties where they... Shots fired at Riot 2 years ago. The WinterFox doing with the can, though. Still, I mean, and the difficulty is, it is no engage against a poke team. This is so hard for C9T to actually get things done without outplays.
Yeah, and Yasui, when he pokes, you can already see the lack of damage he does to somebody like Avalon.
Yeah, yeah.
Avalon just sits there with his W on, his feint, and he just deflects everything.
Oh, he's going to deflect Sheep into his team. Oh, good pullback. And Lot's going to keep him safe. Javelin was headed for the Dome of Thresh, but out he goes.
Top lane turret.
And triple upgraded trinkets as well from WinterFox.
You can't get those on live.
No, you can't.
Sad.
It's okay.
Played a game as top lane, and I realized that I couldn't buy it, and I was so sad.
Buy a pink ward dropper.
That's what I did, and then I realized the cooldown's too long. I should have just kept the original ward dropper.
It's the same cooldown.
But I want the actual, just the green ward, so it's not visible, so you can push top.
Buy some.
I buy pink wards and I keep the green ward dropper.
That's not even efficient. So you actually need to buy green wards anyway. All right, well, waves cleared once again. 500 gold game, and I think it's going to stay like this. The waves are easily cleared because there's like no good forced combat. Like a poke team without a lot of hard engage, like it's just Dark Binding and like just flash plays from Avalon, means we're not going to see WinterFox get kills easily. And C9T have no engage against a long-range team, so they're not going to kills easily.
Well, WinterFox haven't been getting many kills this game at all. Oh, kills this easy. You're wrong.
Okay, well, Short Race missteps, knocked up, goes down. Yasui gets his 8th kill of the game. Looks like the difference in ward vision was actually the reason for that one, so C9T doing a great job of denying visibility.
Every time we throw out hypothetical situations, we forget about the shorter ace factor. 0-4 this game.
Ouch.
Caught at his buffs, caught right here, just walking towards the dragon. Pretty sure he saw the mid lane, too, a moment before that.
Yeah, and he's got like traps and stuff to check brushes. That seemed like a pretty big misstep. But of course, a great hook by Sheep, all said and done. 0-0 and 4 on this highest kill participation support player here from C9T. Gonna take a blue buff away as well, a second in a row. Solo misses the jump over the wall. No one saw that. Benoit just playing wave clear. So, fairly defensive game. And even though these teams don't have hard engage, C9T are good at rushing down the dragon. They have a Callista, they have an Azir. These champions are very, very good at securing neutral objectives. They can kill them in about 3 seconds flat. Here we go, we're gonna count. They don't have Azir there.
3 seconds flat?
54, and we're gonna see how long it takes. Without Azir though, it's you know, the misleading statistic now. It'll be like 10 seconds.
They had the potential to kill it.
Exactly 10 seconds. They didn't even rend it. Man, they lost time. All right, so C9T able to play the objective game. Even though they can't fight the champions directly, they can make WinterFox come to them. Oh, Yasui with the 6th steal as well. That was nice. That was very nice.
55 gold swing.
Kind of? Yeah. 110, I think. Minus 55 plus 55. Gold not earned by Shen.
They wouldn't have gotten it. Yeah.
110 gold swing. Oh, the flash taunt! Oh my god! Lod goes down. That was sick!
We were just talking about how reliable he was, but the Avalon factor, he's going to win you the game sometimes. That was one of those plays. Gets them back in the game, gets them a turret, 200 gold up. Solo's off on the wings, waiting to start a fight here, but he doesn't want to get sieged on. They still have the poke. They still have the pick.
Oh, that's, well, 50-50. Avalon inside the turret's got nowhere to go. Javelin comes through for some damage, but not quite enough. Good kill. Yasui on a rampage.
So, yeah.
They're staying. This is risky.
I guess he does both in the same game. Solo pulled the minions off to the side, though. They don't have minions here at this turret. Clever girl.
Alrighty, so back to equal. 200 gold separates these teams. It's 3 dragons to 0. There's still a lead worth measuring here for C9T. They're only 10 minutes away from Dragon 5. That's definitely a concern here. But WinterFox, able to play the poke game well enough, despite all these deaths, are still clawing their way back in. Sork shoes picked up, or sorry, cooldown shoes for Shorter Ace. Very interesting there. Not what I expected at all. Throws a lot of javelins, a lot of heals.
Frequency of spears. He's not going to be getting a lot of blue buffs this game because they're going over to Shorter Ace. Or sorry, to Arc Second. So Arc Second and Shorter Ace both have their completed tier items upgraded. They're ready to go. It's just Shorter Ace is now almost 2 levels down. You can see Hard's experience bar in the bottom left corner. He's almost 14, whereas Shorter Ace is 12. Shorter Ace was down 11 to 13 for a long portion there. So just these levels that Hard is getting for himself.
Do you know the base cooldown of Javelin Toss? Is it 6 seconds?
At max rank, it's something like that.
Okay, because Short Ace right now is on 3.8 second cooldown. So he's running CDR per level blues. He's going to have max CDR at 18. I don't know if that's exactly what he's doing, but he's at a 3.8 second Javelin Toss cooldown. As long as his mana bar can sustain it, then he's going to have a pretty fun time chucking javelins at everybody. No Magic Pen could make it harmful, but we'll see what ends up happening here.
Relatively safe, though. And a lot of this is just the draft from Winter Fox, the way that they've been CSing this game. And oh man, low pally. He's got spooky ghosts.
Oh man, so he's got some more CC to make the javelins hit, actually, make the skill shots land. I do like that, though. I had wished he would go for Talisman of Ascension, though, instead of Frostfang, as like a next item to go through to let his team move some more, but cool to see the slowing item come out of Morgana.
He's just looking for slowing items here to make sure that Shorter Ace can land his spears. Also, the Twin Shadows, Spooky Ghost, is going to be able to allow them to not have to check brush for a little while.
Yeah, true. It's a very long cooldown, but we'll see if you can use it much. Of course, keep in mind, a couple months ago, we made the support masteries better, and there's even more item CDR now on them, so the cooldown not quite as high as you might remember from the last time you bought Spooky Ghosts.
Yep. And when they return, and they did go after...
If they don't catch a champion, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, well, we're sitting on a 1,500 gold lead right now for Cloud9 Tempest. They have managed to eke a nice lead for themselves. Turrets equal, but the kills and the dragons definitely in the way of Cloud9 Tempest. They are slowly but surely getting farther and farther ahead. Our second has not finished his boots yet, oddly enough, even though he's going towards a Bloodthirster finish. I'm surprised not to see CDR on him, but not really relying on that right now. Pretty easy clears.
So, Twin Shadows is 120-second cooldown.
Base, okay.
You get the 20% from the Mastery.
Yeah.
So you're looking at a 96-second cooldown.
Yeah, minus 24, yeah.
And you restore 40 seconds per ghost. So if it doesn't hit anybody, it's a 16-second cooldown.
Cool. Back, practically a blue trinket then.
Yeah.
A searching blue trinket.
But it also shows you the direction, because it's always going to run towards people.
That's true. But that's pretty easy. Down and left. Whoa, really? They're towards their base.
I mean, if it starts running towards Baron or something,
yeah, I
you're
know.
like,
I'm
oh
giving
boy.
you crap. Yeah, well, 2 items done now late for Pinoy on Corki. Because we're already at 3 items for Lod. Though the farm is similar, the 3 kills means we're sitting at a 1,000 gold lead for Lod over Pinoy. The full completed item difference definitely a big deal. Once again, a blue buff attempt. This would be, I believe, the 3rd in a row for C9T. They're going to get this one finally to Yasui. The first time they've actually managed to do that all game is blue buff steal onto their mid laner. But resources slowly but surely sucked in for Cloud9 Tempest, trying to deny Winter Fox everything they possibly can.
Yeah. Arc Second's blue buffs pretty much non-existent this entire game.
He's never gotten one.
Well, they've been existent, but on other people.
Yeah, but he's never gotten one, which makes it rough. So ward control is great. Yasui, of course, able to use his soldiers over the walls. Must make it very frustrating for Winter Fox to get rid of that kind of stuff. Playing as much poke as they can with the Jace, the Nidalee, and the Corki, but not a lot of sticking. Shen, unable to split push his bot lane, already got pushed all the way in. It's hitting the turret for a little bit of damage. Ward's going back and forth. Hook nearly lands on a Corki. That could have been an engage, but that's really the only engage tool that C9T really has.
15 seconds on that dragon.
And it looks like Winter Fox really want this one.
Gotta watch out for Avalon, though. That's a big Shen.
Oh, well timed, though. So Yasui only now uses the Azir passive to summon a turret right as Dragon's spawning. Mid lane's going to be pressured. This makes it so hard to contest Dragon faithfully because you'll give up mid tier 2 if you don't clear the waves away on time.
Spooky ghosts.
Hook lands on an Avalon. The battle might just begin, but of course, without the mid laner here just yet, it's hard to start. Yasui unable to deal damage to it, but Red is still stacking. Here comes the attempted engage. Can they kill off Lot? He's towards the backside. Red team gets Dragon despite everything, but into the backline he goes. Arc Second in a really, really bad spot. Flashes away from Solo. The binding hits and Solo goes down. Winter Fox maybe winning the fight, but Lod trades one back as we're going to trade top laners. Shorter Ace low on health. Lod gets his second kill of the fight. This Kalista to 5-1, and it keeps going on. Our second nearly dead, almost cut off as well. Don't even know where they could go.
Oh man, there's just so many skill shots that are ready to come out here.
But this could be a turnaround. Pinoy has damage, but Loud with Hurricane is going to be really happy to hit people. Those skill shots going to miss. Arc's going to clear the way as best he can, but Loud's going to get into range soon. The rest of the team will respawn. 15 seconds on Avalon.
If Avalon can get up before they die.
Oh, the cutoff.
Boy.
But he's at half HP. They got to be a bit careful. He's going to go. Gets our second. Low Pally in a bad spot. Of course, Black Shield, I think, might have been used there, but against physical damage wouldn't matter. He's now one hit away from getting killed. The hook's going to hit a Black Shield. Solo comes in. That'll be a kill. Avalon not going to bother ulting in, and he's going to go save Pinoy instead, who is safe.
Oh, now they're going to run towards that Baron area here, try to set it up on C9T side. Hard using his ultimate to a tunnel in front of them. Really nice play there.
Definitely stellar play. It's going to go for the Baron attempt. They're still waiting for UCB to join the team. And C9T, got to be careful with this one. Shorter Ace is alive and he is in range. It is a big Callista stack, but the last one got stolen too. Hard is a bit low. Solo taking a Baron right now. This is a big risk. Winterfox not going in yet. Will they go for Lot? Oh, it's too low, and it's going to be easily rented away. In comes Avalon a bit late. Hard low on health, though. Can they get any of the kills? They're trying. Pinoy goes in for the jungler. They will pick that one up. No! Oh, man, a 2-for-1 all said and done. C9T win another fight.
Just the picks.
2 for 2. Actually, Sheep died too.
Yeah, over and over again, just these picks from C9T. You can see Winterfox and C9T just both kind of jumped up in kills over the last few minutes, and it's been a 3.5 thousand gold lead for C9T now. It used to just be neck and neck, back and forth, but the pick on Shorter Ace earlier on, the fact they were able to get this Dragon and get the position on it, good for Winterfox.
They got a good fight off the Dragon. Even if Winterfox stole it, it was C9T picking up 2 more kills and a Baron, which is a lot of money income.
Yeah, Baron is essentially worth 5 kills. It's 300 gold.
I usually say 3 because you assume assists.
Okay.
It's up for
5
debate,
solo kills.
Yes. Or 3 team fight kills before assist streaks. But either way, this team fight, it's actually fairly close. It's a 2 for 2. You can see Hard just deals so much damage to Shorter Ace, who really wasn't able to do much in the fight. Double kill for the Corki. Pinoy did get the kill credit onto Sheep, his first of the game, but it's another game where Pinoy has a really good stat line. Like, he's a very consistent player. You can see that he was actually quite good, but Winterfox's team just starting to get outclassed in the mid game.
Oh man, 50-50, just like Avalon. That's what this game's all about. It's the 50-50 game. But that's exciting, because I don't know who's going to win just yet. When you come in, you just look at records. Winterfox 0-5.
C9T 3-2, which is the only reason they have lost is they played Renegades in week 1 without their supposed mid laner. As UCB was out for the account purchasing scandal.
Scandal.
Well, punishment, I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
Yes. He was part of an account purchasing scandal in Nicaragua.
That's not even close to true.
Just make it even more fabricated.
Great.
Over $50 million in purchased accounts.
I wanted to say you invented a country, but I know it's not true. Like, obviously Nicaragua's a real country, but I wanted to pull a Ron Burgundy and just be like, play ignorant.
That's not a real country. Why are you making up countries? I could do
We're
it
fabricating parts of South America.
I can do it too. I'm from Shabingabang.
They were no good. All right.
But go ahead.
Well, Baron buff minions and Azir sitting by his turret makes it hard to clear, and so Winterfox still playing the defensive game. Now, their wave clear is not amazing either, to be fair. The C9T siege kind of sucks, so it's still going to be, I think, a good long way until this game even ends. It would again take like a pretty big outplay for much more to get destroyed. Like, we might see tier 2s go down, but yeah, this Baron buff ends soon, and sieging is hard for C9T.
It feels like C9T are going to start playing that 5th Dragon game, and it'll be a bit longer. We're looking at a longer length game here, unless they can keep catching members out. But they have to be careful themselves.
But Hard's getting tanky enough to kind of withstand this sort of damage, and Aegis does give that health regen, or in this late on, actually people's health regen is high enough for it to matter, so even the poke is only so sticky. Shorter Ace, unfortunately, 0-6-2, just a very rough game for him. He's been punished more for his aggression than for getting invaded on, really. He pushed in for the Dragon, pushed in for the Baron, pushed in for a bot lane gank, got hooked under turret, like, and then sometimes he gets invaded on. Sometimes it's good play from solo, but Really, just another rough game in a row for Shorter Ace.
So far, he has 0 kills
Yeah.
in the Challenger Series.
And he's averaging about 4 deaths a game. It's just... Oh, man,
Average
again.
about to go up.
Well, he gets a Shen ulti, he gets a lot of shields, and he will survive, and it may just pull Solo a bit too far up, who goes to the back line, gets killed. Low Pally, though, jumps on. A flash play from Sheep gets him another kill. His first of the game, but Avalon's got nowhere to go. Rend might be enough. He's going to try for it. Gets the kill to Yasui. On a 3-for-1 in favor of Cloud9 Tempest, right in time for Dragon.
When you have a poke comp and you keep getting caught like this, you're just going to keep giving up kills. Once again, Arc second, alive, but oh, no.
Not going to find Pinoy.
Nope. Oh, is he?
No.
Oh,
Found him. Just didn't hit the hook on him.
almost.
And C9T, they choose to push down the inhibitor instead of going for a dragon off of this timing window they have. They have this minion wave, this specific minion wave, try to knock the inhibitor down. This is the only chance they get. They've got to turn for dragon if this doesn't work. Wave clear a little bit. The melees are mostly gone.
Yeah, Arc second has no mana either. He can't really continue to poke. They're going to be able to get this inhibitor off of this with just the damage that Lot has.
4v4.
There's no mana though. You take this fight.
Yeah. It's like a clean getaway. So middle inhibitor is down, in they can go towards dragon. There's theoretically a risk if Avalon tries to jump you. He's got teleport still up, but it looks like it should be safe. Solo walking up the mid lane. Pink ward control is in. Dragon number 4 for Cloud9 Tempest.
Would have been at their 5th dragon if that Ren had actually been
Used.
correct last time. Now Winter Fox just get control of the Baron area side of the jungle. Still
Yeah,
no
Baron's
mana
good
on
enough.
Arc second. Short Ice, he doesn't die right off the bat here. Gets himself a kill. But the flash jump, huge series of shields there.
1,500 points worth of temporary health.
Oh man, that just blown up there afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh, just the damage. It hurts.
Blue buff steal attempt, but Hard's here. Oh no, it goes over to Pinoy. Nice, an early smite by Shredder into a Trinity Force auto attack. Gives a blue buff over to Winter Fox, the first they've had in probably 20 minutes or so.
It's still 7,000 gold lead, and that's been manifesting itself.
Yeah.
Just stats over on C9T's side. You can see armor coming through for dealing with Arc second. Magic resist coming through for both Avalon and Pinoy, as well as some of Shorter Aces. And Shorter Ace now, just now, finally completing his Luden's Echo 39.5 minutes into this game.
Ouch. Yeah, I mean, his income is super low right now. Only 10,000 gold on this Nidalee. He's 3,000 behind the enemy jungler. He's out-earning both supports, but that's it. The third poorest member in the game, the farm-heavy jungle Nidalee. And the thing is, he was part of his team's early gold lead. He was super out-farming hard. He had such a good early game, but as we're seeing, the more experienced challenger teams, the ones with more roster stability, just tend to have better and better mid-games. They keep winning the same parts of the game. And Winter Fox looking at a 0-6 start to the split.
Yep, sometimes you mess up the early game slightly, but then if you just have mid-game coordination, you have that experience with your team and that trust, you're able to pull through, and they're going for something here. Avalon a little far forward.
Hook, flay, taunt hits up hard, though a good amount of damage done, but Mikhail's in a lane to keep him safe for now. That is a big cooldown out.
Oh man, Yasui's at that point where he can just chunk out Pinoy. And this isn't somebody who really has to worry about your front line either. As soon as your front line is retreating like Avalon was, Yasui can just walk up and queue through everything to your AD carry.
Avalon is the only tank, keep in mind. It's a bunch of squishies otherwise. It's ranged champions trying to land poke skills. If their mid game went any better, it would have been fine for Winter Fox, but now the gold lead is so big that it's actually fairly trivial for Azir to just push through the Shen and kill squishies in the back line. It's not C9T really engaging, it's C9T finding picks, and they've had it over and over and over again in this game. Once again, looking to maybe control this Baron. It's alive, but they're not willing to go for it. Avalon correctly identified as the man to hold the mid lane dead inhibitor. And Winter Fox do get a ward back over the Baron pit. C9T playing it a little bit slow.
In
Gonna
and
let
out,
Solo
back
push the
and
bot
forth.
lane.
He's got the triangle of war of Rek'Sai tunnels there.
Solo's going for either a Wit's End or a Ruin Kick last that if he's got a Hurricane or a recurve bow. Easy Ren, good job at the Baron. C9T with great vision control. They played it really patiently, made sure Winterfox weren't getting free poke down. The threat of hooks from Fog definitely very strong.
Hard just had to go for a ride one more time between the triangle.
Yeah, why not?
He set it up, work of art. Why not use it? Great. It's down to wave clear duties. And in the bottom lane, Avalon versus Solo again, head to head. But last time we really saw this matchup was a long time ago and Avalon was winning it.
But right now, Solo's up 2,000 gold over Avalon and has a fair bit of damage items now. Max CDR in this Fizz most likely.
Going for that mid lane as well, shoving it out.
Sheep takes poke. He's done a half from a single shock blast.
Out of mana though, for a lot of members of Winterfox.
Yeah. Well, it's a bit deceptive because of the tier, but overall, yeah. Running low, poke's not going to do much. Acceleration gate was down, easily enough done, and Solo just using the Baron buff to push down the bot lane is going to get that really quickly. Look at the damage is going through.
Recurve bow.
7 turrets down. C9T continue to control the mid game perfectly. Winterfox haven't done anything good in a very long time. The push they had when they spiked up for the Trinity Force was really good. They grouped up mid, they knocked that turret really, really low. They had some really nice plays. But ever since about 15 minutes into the game, Winterfox have nothing but struggled.
Yeah, really should have exploited Avalon's lead. And the fact that he could have used his ultimate a couple more times to actually defend. Keep people alive. That Ghost has no idea what it's doing with its life. It has made some bad choices. Spatting out.
But C9T's made enough good choices, certainly. Wave cleared away. Easily grabbed by Lud. Grump steal as well. Low Pally doing what he can to keep up defensive wards, but if you look at the ward line of Winterfox, it's like maybe 4 total in their own jungle. That's all the vision these guys have.
Solo continuing to split push. Middle inhibitor back up, and that's where he's heading. He's past that middle inhib, wants to catch the wave for it. Draw as many people as you can away from the center, away from Dragon. He's going to continue to push as much as possible. He has his TP available. 5th Dragon on the table for Cloud9 Tempest. They have the setup for it. Winterfox have to face check a lot of this. You talked about their lack of wards. They don't have any vision covering the Dragon at all. Winterfox will have to face check or give up 5th Dragon, and that's pretty much their doom.
You can't face check into this team, man. You got to let them go Dragon 5 and hope that's not up to win the game. Baron buff will time out in the next 10 seconds, so they can't really overlap Dragon and Baron buffs, not till next time, which is another 6 minutes away. That seems a little bit unlikely. Solo playing pretty aggressively up in here, but there's a Dragon pickup. C9T able to run away with this one pretty cleanly, and now, where goes the siege? Mid lane has no turret, bot lane already has C9T members. As Baron times out right about now, we'll see how good their push is.
They're not even gonna back. They're just
real good.
Destroy that turret.
Well, they had the window. You saw Winterfox chasing around the slippery Fizz right as C9T was able to run around the map and get the bot lane, and now the mid lane dropped down. Double inhibitors killed 45 minutes. It's certainly taken them a while. It's been hard for C9T to engage fights, but they've controlled the map. They've got Dragon 5. They're ready to push top lane.
It's been a long game, though. 45 minutes so far. Yesterday it was taken to a 52-minute game between these two teams. And Cloud9 Tempest just seemed to struggle against the 0-5 Winterfox. Trying to make them 0-6, but it has just not been a pretty game from C9T, or pretty series against them.
Yeah, well, this is what happens when your comp can't do anything that's going to be comp.
Yeah.
You have to rely on the stuns you do have, which ends up being hard finding people in Sheep getting hooks and playing only for objectives. If you're a better team fighting composition, then set up an objective and it works out. Dragon 5 tending to push the top lane, getting some meaningful damage down, but Winterfox doing what they can to wave clear. They still have Fizz in the split push. Avalon goes in, gets hooked though, a lot of damage out of him, forced to flash away. The soldiers come in and Ignite is on. Avalon nearly goes down. Solo gets the kill. Gonna drop low Pally as well. Sheep flashes, won't land the hook, but it's gonna be enough to knock this game down. 5v3, the push on in, 3 inhibitors dead. Here come the minions. This should be C9T getting the win in a 46-minute slugfest. Over an hour and a half, the entire best of 3, or the best of 2, I should say, but 2-0, C9T knocked down every single structure. They got every single possible neutral as well. It's gonna be 4-2 now in the season for Cloud9 Tempest.
5th Dragon for themselves, taking them a lot to actually knock them down, but C9 do come home with the victory.
Yeah.
Winterfox looking better and better every week. It's not the same old story.
Yeah.
Every week they're getting better. They're showing more progress. It's just they have windows that they aren't pressing. When you have Avalon with this large advantage, and when you have Short Ace running around the jungle and it doesn't look like he knows what he wants to do, you can set him up. You can make it so he can check these areas with a Shen ultimate. Make sure you have his back. Things like that need to start coming together for them, and then you'll see that extra boost because they definitely had windows of opportunity to actually get a huge lead in this game and possibly win it.
Yeah, they definitely had the abilities to, but it just didn't happen. WinterFox 0-6, and there's conflicting stories here for me because we're seeing them clearly be outclassed by C9T. Both games, clear chances to win, could have done it, couldn't quite do it. That said, their 0-6 is against the literal top 3 teams in Challenger. Coast undefeated, Renegades undefeated, Cloud9 Tempest 4-2. They have 2 easier opponents up next, and maybe against Vortex and Imagine it starts to look better for WinterFox, but right now, definitely a lot of issues to fix. We'll see if they can do that. Cloud9 Tempest, though, 4 wins in a row now, and joining us to talk about that impressive win is that Cloud9 Tempest top laner, Solo. Solo, man, welcome to the show. Congrats on the win.
Hi there, thank you.
So talk to me about what happened in this match. You guys were up against a poke comp with like no engage at all. How was it hard to navigate this one?
Well, we knew coming in that we need to do a lot of split pushing and start stacking up dragons so that we'd have like any chance. We did a really good job of making a lot of picks around objectives, which I think led to like the early game success. But overall, I was pretty confident. I thought our draft was pretty good. So,
well, you mentioned that split push was going to be really important. You lost lane to Avalon, man.
whoa.
You did. You like
the early game map pressure though. All the kills.
Well,
in the
yeah,
roams.
okay. You crushed the team. You lost lane though. So tell me, like, was this okay for you? Were you expecting to get out of lane and go make plays like that?
I knew I would do a lot of roaming because most Shen lanes are like pretty farm heavy. I wasn't expecting to have that much problem once I hit like closer to the Triforce spike. I was actually really surprised at how much damage like Shen with Sunfire was doing to me and how tanky he was. So that's why we knew as a team, like, I need to start grouping more and we need to just like make plays around vision, and we were able to do that.
So when you started having that damage check against him, you were just freaking out at how much damage he's actually doing back to you?
I was like, how's the Shen doing this so broken? Sunfire does so much damage.
Everyone forgot about the item. Cinderhulk's been around for so long, we forgot original OG Sunfire.
Oh, man. But so when you look at, like, I want to ask you about champion pool and things like that, because Fizz is a champion that we see not a lot of people have success with. We see it sometimes in LCK and LPL, and it just take off there, but we don't see it in Challenger here too often actually have success. Is that because people aren't roaming with it? What is the proper way to play that Fizz in the top lane?
I think the problem people are having is when you team fight with Fizz, you actually really need to like set up flanks because it's really difficult to get deep into the backline, especially when you don't have flash. So being able to, you saw in a lot of fights, I was able to like zone off Jace or catch Jace off on the side, and that causes a lot of pressure in team fights. Whereas if you're just going in with the front line, you're going to get peeled off as soon as you use your playful trickster, and that's where I think a lot of people come in with the problems.
So when I had a conversation with you, you mentioned that you look up to Marin and you try to emulate his style. Why is he the guy that you look up to, and what is the best thing you see in him that you want to grab for yourself?
Probably the best thing, he has a lot of lane dominance, which I know you guys apparently I didn't show a lot this game, but I did the other thing I like that he does, which is he likes to push up and make a lot of early roaming plays. As you saw, I was able to push up a lot early and go mid and go into their jungle and get a lot of kills that way. And I like that style from Marin, and I think he brings a lot to that.
And of course, you did a good job of actually having all those awesome plays around the map. So good job on the invade and the picks and all that. Next question for you is: you guys play Imagine next week, and new lineup looks pretty decent. They gave Renegades a decent run for their money. How do you guys gonna do against them next week?
I think they're looking pretty formidable with some of their changes. We'll see if they last the week. But
Fair.
as far as they are now, I think they're going to be a pretty tough opponent. We'll definitely have to prepare a lot for them.
Final question: why is your room so yellow?
Well, this isn't really a room. It's more of like a, I guess, a den or something. So this is just where the computer is. The room is another place. But you know, you have to have the bright colors when you live in California. It's very summery.
All right, so the yellow den. Thank you very much for joining us. Good luck for the rest of the season, man.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. All right, we've got to take one more break tonight, but when we come back, we return, and we're going to host our final match as Team Coast will look to clinch a playoff spot if they can win against Vortex. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Lane dominance about showing no weakness.
And a yellow den. yellow den.
Just fight him no matter what.
Yeah, okay, great. The hook onto Pinoy. Shenalty finally comes in. Sheep might die because of the ignite anyway.
Stay in.
But into the back line he goes. Arcsec in a really, really bad spot. Flashes away from Solo. The binding hits and Solo goes down. Then he will survive, and it may just pull Solo a bit too far up. Who goes to the back line, gets killed. Low Pally, though, jumps on. A flash play from Sheep gets him another kill. Hey everyone, welcome back to the North American Summer Challenger Series. Tonight's final matchup is a couple minutes away, so we're going to kill that time by showing you what happened last night when Vortex hit the Rift against Team Coast. And these teams were in very opposite scenarios. Coast looking amazing, undefeated so far. Vortex, though, couldn't buy a win. Yeah,
but they could get a new jungler in Ko. Formerly from Gamers 2, from Ninjas in Pajamas, and Cloud9 Eclipse over in the European Challenger Series. Very aggressive jungler. They brought him onto the lineup to see what he could do, and he kind of showed what he could do right off the bat.
Yeah, so we can see what happens now as we get ourselves into the game. Of course, Team Coast have looked awesome the whole time, and their new jungler Shrimp from this split has been nothing but amazing. And this is just cute. So Chris goes for the invade, goes, oh, I see Billy Boss. Oh, I see Ko.
But his team didn't follow him that far forward, and...
Whoa! People, Mash jumps forward, double slow from him. Ko has Ghost, so he can't get up the wall. First blood Mash.
Shout out to whoever does that. Those replays are brilliant.
And now a fight in the bot lane. Shrimp is here again, and Shrimp is going to get some kills. A quick equalizer. See, Chris knows how to right-click before he presses the equalizer button, so this goes in the right direction. Quick double kill there. Coast already 3-0. 15 minutes in, they're trying to chase down. Coast wants some kills. They want to knock down some champions. They're trying to run away, actually, because Coast are here, and Coast are going to kill everyone.
Mash gets the reset, jumps, pops Ko, jumps again, and he forces the flash here because of his red buff.
And it just gets rougher and rougher. 12-2 already in kills. Coast, despite the fact that our previous series today and yesterday have been very close, Coast is absolutely slaughtering right here. Vortex replaced their jungler, replaced their support, and it just, it's not helping.
Yeah, Biofrost in place of Matt. And Coast just having a great split altogether. Almost an ace here. But
Oh, Coast. Sorry, I heard Co, and I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Oh, yeah. No, Coast.
Yeah, Coast are awesome.
Coast are just having a great split over and over again. Chris right there, so low, ends up
Flash
getting
play.
out.
Ko goes down. Mash just absolutely massive. 3 items plus a Quicksilver Sash. Just cannot be held down.
Yeah.
Kills off Billy Boss. I mean, Mash, and we heard Lod say it. He thinks that Mash is the best AD carry in Challenger, and right now this game, unkilled, doing a great job.
Yeah, and Shrimp had a triple knock up there at the bottom of the screen, and he goes for more here, knocking up Biofrost right on the equalizer, and then they just roll through the back line of this team.
Goodbye. Everybody, goodbye. The backline jumped on by the Tristana, 9-0 in 10. Mash goes on to end the game, 11-0 and 11. A 38-minute win. Took Coast a while. Took them 5 dragons, but they won the game. Mash was massive. Chris did great as well. Perfect score for him. No deaths. High KDA, and Shrimp is just the best jungler ever.
Yeah, Chris has the most damage in the game, and Mash just toppled down turrets. Shrimp, highest kill participation as well. 23 out of the 27 kills he set up. And that guy, I mean, ever since I saw him start playing, I just can't stop talking about how good Shrimp is.
Yeah, he's super good. But one player who is aimed to make another big impact in this game is, in fact, that jungler Shrimp. If you're going to gush, go for it, man.
Oh, man. Shrimp went 7-1-16, but that's not even that impressive compared to what this guy has been doing in the Challenger scene. Over the 5 games that he has played, Shrimp averages 72 CS above his opponents at the end of the game. He is 72 CS above the enemy jungler, and he maintains 83% kill participation while doing so. He is creating pressure by farming the enemy's farm. He's saying, you fight me for this farm, or else I'm going to take it scot-free, or I'm going to take it and I'm going to kill you at the same time.
Yeah.
When he plays Rek'Sai in particular over 3 games, he's 122 CS over the other jungler at the end. This guy is an absolute monster. He just creates pressure in a very different way than what you're used to. He's not showing up to the lanes. He's treating the enemy jungle as a lane itself.
Yeah.
I love seeing that, though, because it's always action-packed. He's always doing something, and the activity he's putting onto the map is forcing the enemy's hand.
Yeah, and if they're not ready to react to it, then stuff goes badly. Shrimp has definitely been an amazing force for this team. Coast, again, they're undefeated heading into the last couple of weeks here. To be fair, they've had, I would argue, the easiest schedule. They've played Winter Fox, Team Imagine, and Vortex. There's only 2 total wins across those teams combined so far. So, of course, Ghost is a part of that, to be fair. He's, 6 of those losses, but, they're up against Vortex, who are still looking to try to find a win. They've changed their lineup, I think, almost every single week so far, trying to find a system that works for them, and so far it hasn't happened. Their losses are getting almost worse over time. They had a close game 1 against Cloud9 Tempest last Tuesday, and since then it hasn't been good for Vortex.
You can see Vortex banning 2 bans towards Shrimp already. So far, he's played Evelynn, Nunu, and Rek'Sai.
Yeah.
The 2 times that Rek'Sai has been banned, he's played Rek'Sai the 3 other times. So 100% pretty much pick ban here for Shrimp on Rek'Sai. If it's up, he plays it. If it's down, he swaps to something else like Nunu or Evelynn. Nunu off the field. If the Evelynn's the last ban coming through, which I would expect at this point, but there's, okay, so the Alistar off the field as well, because Conquan actually had 2 great performances on that champion. He's 0-0 and 29.
Well, this creates a couple of pitches. So Ryze goes over. Okay, first pick Ryze, but with the Kalista ban, it means Sivir's big, and it means also that Nautilus is the 2nd-tier support after Alistar's the big one. That's kind of what I expect to see Vortex pick if we go power pick-wise, but Ryze is big, and we talked about him a little bit. We see him banned, actually, just as often as he was back in 5.11, but instead of permaroot, it's just a lot more damage, and it seems like all these high-tier competitive teams put a lot of priority on Ryze being important.
Yeah. He does a lot of damage. He does more damage, and the fact that his ultimate makes his abilities do AoE
means
he's
more
just
damage.
doing more damage. frankly a little frustrating.
I mean, that's always been the case, though. Rise was always the machine gun damage dealer. It was, and I feel like that hasn't really changed since the old Rise. Like, the damage output is differently timed, right? He gets the crazy casting windows sort of in spurts, I suppose. But Team Coast, it'll take some time to make their next few choices. If Shrimp goes for Nidalee, I'd be a bit surprised.
He's just going through jungle.
I think they're just hovering things, honestly. We'll see what they actually go for here in a bit. There's a lot of good champions open. Really just up to what Coast wants to play here. The entire field is now open. Zero's always the big team fighter. Not going to go for this one right now. It looks like he will get that Evelyn that wasn't banned away.
I just wanted to see more from him. He's played the Nunu. He's played the Rex. I almost called Rek'Sai Shrimp, just because of how much I've seen him on that champion, how good he is at it. So Nunu, Rek'Sai, and he's just going to go back to the other one that we've seen him on. I wanted to see like a Rengar. I wanted to see him pull something else out. But if it's going to work for him, you might as well go for it. So Pekin Wolf might be on that Lulu.
Yeah, I mean, it's double flex pick. Yeah, like Lulu can go in any of these 3 lanes, top, mid, or support, and Rise can go top or mid. So we'll see what the comp ends up actually being. But Evelyn will be the fairly squishy front line. I feel like it's hard to build enough tank stats on Evelyn, except that Shrimp gets so damn much money that he'll just be tanky anyway, probably. But Lulu trying to survive that a little bit more. Vortex to make their few choices here, looking at already a very good engaging bot lane. Makes me think Poke would not be very strong for Coast. I would not like to see them run a Poke comp, but they're obviously not running one with Rise here. But Vortex able to pick team fights, and they're going to go and grab Nidalee and Maokai. So I'm surprised to see Nidalee in this composition. I don't know what she really does with this group, but Maokai in the top lane is going to be a very durable front line to start team fights out.
Yeah, I thought it might have been a Nautilus top because we saw a lot of that in the North American LCS. But it's going to be a Maokai top. It's going to be a Nautilus bottom. And you immediately see Mash go for the Vayne lock-in here.
Wow. Right into Sivir. Wants that matchup. And he goes into Sivir Nautilus as well, so he's got to be able to dodge hooks. If a hook lands, it's really bad for Vayne.
Well, he does have a Lulu for Peel. He has another threat of a Rise, so you can't really go all in on this Vayne and ignore everybody else around here.
I remember like last season, I used to really love Rise Vayne as an overall duo because it's 2 same range, super high damage threats. If you kill one, the other's probably going to kill you off, and you just can't really knock them both down reliably. And they're both annoying to kill in their own right. Vayne stealths away. Rise used to be super tanky. Now his build's a lot more squishy, but it's still a very high damage backline here. They're looking at a Azir as well for Pekin Wolf, which means like pretty much the highest damage comp like literally possible. With Lulu as their only way to get Peel and Shrimp on Evelyn as the only tank.
Yeah, what I've been noticing is Pekin Wolf is kind of the filler bait. He plays a long-range mage in the mid lane or a mid-range mage. He'll play like Victor or something. Something the team fight. Exactly. He'll play team fighter. Kog'Maw, Azir, Victor are the 3 things we've seen him on. And he's just going back to Azir. He plays in the back line. He's just another person who team fights. And then everybody else kind of can do the crazy stuff, and Pekin Wolf is the rock, the consistent force in the mid lane. Even if somebody messes up, he's still going to be able to bring his damage to the table, because I'm trying to see here how many deaths he actually has. He has 5 total across the entire thing. But Mash so far only has 1 death across the entire split.
Yeah, and Mash is actually quickly rising up to having a ridiculously high KDA. If you want to do the math, I'm going to talk for a little bit. Last pick comes through for Vortex, and it's going to be the mid lane Varus. So Vortex actually does go for a Poke comp after all. They decide Team Coast team fighting is too high. They're not going to even bother trying that one, and they are going to hope they can disengage. And in fact, much like the last one, there's not a lot of good hard engage tools. It's like up to a whimsied Evelyn to start fights at, which will be a little bit difficult. It can happen. We saw the picks happen in the C9T game, but it will require significant effort from Team Coast without any reliable lockdown.
Well, we saw something very similar to this. I believe it was Gamsu. It was Shifter playing mid lane Lulu, I believe, and he sped him up, and they flashed over the Chain of Corruption, and he was able to root, right? Because you have the ultimate for spells, or for
super speedy Rise then.
And then you also have the Lulu to speed you up as well. Also, Mash has a 76 KDA.
76. So
76.
He needs 24 kills or assists to hit 100 KDA. We almost had it 2 years ago in Challenger, or was it 1 year ago? Yeah, it was 1 year ago in European Challenger. The Gamers 2 bot lane of Yuki and Dude hit 96 KDA in a duo lane.
And then they kept dying.
Until they met NIP in the playoffs, in the semifinals, I believe. So I'm waiting for the day where there's a 100 KDA player or even group of players. I'm okay with that.
Well, that's the thing. It was Yuki and Dude.
Yeah.
It was the duo. This is one guy. This is just
and
Mash.
He's 2 games away from 100 KDA.
He got a 22 KDA last game. So he could be very close this game, depending on how bloody it is. And that was against Vortex, his 22 KDA.
Yep. Well, the high poke team with a lot of engage, though. Maokai and Nautilus can both do scary things to Vayne. Ko, in his second game on this lineup here, was a really well-regarded jungler back in 2014. We haven't seen a lot from him since, though.
He jumped around really high-tier teams, though. NIP, C9 Eclipse, Gamers 2. He was just all over the place in those top teams.
Well, he's up in here on a, unfortunately, floundering Vortex lineup. We can see if he can turn these guys around. The jungle Nidalee for Ko. Last time he did play Olaf, so certainly a more unique champion pool. Not going for the Gragas, not going for the what was banned, the Nunu, that sort of safe style of stuff.
Yeah, he also got off to the worst possible start, too.
Yeah.
Dying to the level 1 invader, kind of counter push out of the lane.
At least he died in time to farm the jungle again.
Yeah.
It wasn't at like 145 or something, but still, yeah, like giving a kill away to Tristana's never easy.
Yeah, giving a kill away to Tristana, blowing your summoner spell Ghost as well was really big. Because then he can't ghost into the lanes very early on and just clock somebody and continue to keep that pattern up. Get summoner spells for it. Because Olaf blowing summoner spells is rather rough if you don't have that summoner to blow yourself.
Well, we'll see what happens as Conquan spots the jungle start and says, okay, Veritas and Biofrost went for a fairly hard leash for Ko's blue buff. We don't see that almost at all from duo lanes, but it happened here. Meanwhile, it looks like Chris and Shrimp easily able to grab their own blue and Gromp. They both hit 2. And all will be well. TP from Billy Boss, who had taken down, looks like the Raptors himself. Chris will recall, get his own potion to show up top lane. So we will have matched lanes. Vayne into Sivir, always a bit of an interesting one. If Vortex pushes in too hard, Biofrost can't do anything in the lane anymore, and he'll be unable to go for any pressure, and it makes it a 2v1 lane, which is not good for Sivir. It will push in a bit, though, so I have to see if Vortex can keep this lane. Oh, man, if Veritas misses some CS here. If they can keep this lane from sticking under the turret.
You know, pushing is, yeah, like you said, always very risky because you're going to have Shrimp on Evelyn. This Evelyn will show up to the lane, through the lane, from the side of the lane. Your wards pretty much mean nothing.
There's not a lot of gank assist, though. It's not like it's a Thresh or a Blitzcrank lane where like the Evelyn gank turns into something. So with only Lulu being really the crowd control here, it should be okay. If Vortex wants to chain push, they're probably safe to do so.
Thinking about what lane would you want to gank as this Evelyn? I would honestly say mid or top.
Yeah, top could do it as well. Just anything with like true CC. Bishu's squishy enough and doesn't have cleanse, so the chilling smite that he's already bought could definitely work. We'll see if anything happens right now. Top lane actually a very big CS disparity. We're seeing 20-6 right now in farm.
He's going to pick up a lot of it here, though.
There's a good 10 under the turret, so we can pretty much equalize this here. Mid lane equal. Bishu really trying to harass Peek and Woof. And it's always fun landing that healing debuff when someone chugs a potion. You just feel so good about it.
It's one of the good times for that Grievous Wounds. Shrimp finally picking up his red buff for himself. Ko looking down bottom, looking to make the first move of this game as a jungler.
It's not revealed, but how is this gank supposed to work? Bot lane is pushing back through, so that's part of it. The lane is pushing back in toward the Vortex duo. Shrimp gets spotted thanks to the hop from Ko. And he says, hey guys, Evelyn's around here. He's going to have to outsmite the Evelyn. He doesn't know if Eve has smite up or not, but looks like it'll be safely grabbed by Ko regardless. There's the jump. Oh, doesn't have to smite it. I guess the reveal range is the same as the smite range, right? So Shrimp couldn't sneak that one easily.
Yeah. It's fairly big. The reveal range is a little bit bigger than you would think.
Well, I play Evelyn. It's exactly what I think.
Yeah. How big is it? Quick, give me the number.
Looks like 650-ish. Pulling a Conquan, gonna land a root as well. Level 3 on him, but there's no Nidalee around.
Nidalee kind of stalking. Looking for Peek and Wolf.
Not quite gonna land that one. All right, Ko. The question is, how fast can Ko really farm? He did go challenging Smite Nidalee, by the way, so another different build for him. But right now, down in CS under Shrimp, who is trying to power farm on this Evelyn. The range is 700, I've been told, so I was close.
Close. But it was bigger than you would think.
Well, but keep in mind, I'm an 80 carry player, so attack ranges are like the numbers I'm normally going from.
That's true. But Jinx gets that attack range eventually.
More than that.
700?
Well, her 700 is edge to edge, right? Which means it's
That's true.
more like 815.
Oh, man. You're just making it sound more OP.
I mean, it outranges Rise W.
Yeah.
And Vortex sitting on a ward.
But look at this. As soon as they know where Ko is, Shrimp is farming his Raptors.
Yep.
And now he's going to go
gonna
for
take
more
Krug.
of his jungle. This is how Shrimp works.
And the thing is,
He's almost got twice his CS.
they should know that Coast warded this. Even if you ward from a brush, the particle of placing a ward down
They
still
just
plays.
saw it die, too.
I don't think they saw it because their bodies are on top of it. I don't think they noticed.
You could hear it. They just... Oh, man.
Well, this is not going to work at all.
Yeah.
Well, top lane's fighting, though. It's a level 6 Rise who's out of mana. Good luck casting spells that time. Chris just on the doors, bringing some potions, not doing much. Billy Boss happy to sustain back up with his potions. 6 CS difference there. Not a big one, but one that exists.
I'm looking at the gold right now. 400 gold difference, and Shrimp has 400 gold over Ko.
I mean, he's got double the guy's CS going for Warrior Evelyn.
Yep.
Actually, I don't typically see non-Trailblazer Evelyn also. I feel like... Am I wrong here, or is it... I feel like I normally see Trailblazer on you.
You normally see Trailblazer. You can go for this, though, because you don't need mana regen or anything.
Yeah, I don't
Trailblazer.
like you lose so much health.
Yeah, she's fairly squishy in the jungle, for sure.
All right, well, Shrimp, show me how it's done. Health bar might get low. If you're going to power farm, I'm just curious to see how it's going to work out for him. Ko only level 4 to Shrimp's 5, gets a deep ward down to spot what might be happening, but will not get any information on Evelyn's camp. She doesn't even let drop that much anyway, so. One of the less useful wards. Shrimp looking for the mid lane here, wants to jump Bishu right across the wall, jumps in, pops the ulti, summoner heal used, Picking up gets the knockback, good flash to stay safe, and the chain's gonna land. What?
What?
He was rooted! Ko! I'm tilted.
Freak! Don't leave me!
I'm tilted.
Don't leave me!
Tilted. Where's missing a cannon minion?
Oh, man.
With smite.
Yes, that's the top lane smite, missing a cannon minion. It's your only job in the game, is to farm.
I actually missed a cannon with smite like 2 days ago.
Oh.
Because I went to like smite auto it, and between the smite and auto, a minion killed it, and I'm like, I missed a cannon with smite. I'm literally the worst League of Legends player alive. I was just impatient.
Yeah. Sometimes that happens when you go to clear a wave and you have Trailblazing Smite, and you smite the wave, and you're like, oh, wait, but I left like 4 up at half HP, and then they died a turret shot.
Root him. Yep. Chris finds Billy Boss, who has already been able to buy items, so Billy Boss in a real bad spot. Doesn't even need it. Q forward, and Chris gets the kill. Billy Boss hoped he could TP away, was wrong. First blood solo kill top lane, and Chris has so much time to knock this stuff down.
Chris has done this pretty much every game so far. He played
top
Echo
lane.
twice in a row in the middle of it. He played 2 Gnar, 2 Echo, 1 Rumble, and every time he's been able to solo kill the top laner at some point in the game.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for the day where Chris has to do more than just sit in the lane and kill
win.
the other guy.
Yeah.
But oh man, he just destroyed that Maokai. Billy Boss, little aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, Chris really hasn't been tested yet. He's played against the 3 weakest teams in Challenger right now, the ones that are 4th, 5th, and 6th right here. You could argue the same for Shrimp potentially, but I mean, Coast just still looks so dominant. Rod of Ages first for Chris, looks like. No tier yet.
Oh man, Shrimp 2 levels up, but Ko's gonna pick this up, grab the red for himself. He's gonna hit level 6 off of it. And now the counter jungling begins, because in order to pretty much deal with Shrimp, you have to counter jungle him at some point. And him and Peek and Wolf have shown that they aren't 100% on the same page at all times.
And he's still trying to set something up, but Bishu's already been ganked in the mid lane. A great ult hits Peek and Wolf, who cleanse and jumps in, and Bishu's one hit from dead, gets the kill. Shrimp gonna run the other way through to dodge away from Ko, but a lot of damage from Nidalee. Knocked back with the Emperor's Divide, not gonna happen. Ko gets the kill. No assist for Billy Boss, who walked down. And now, will they be able to properly chase down this Evelyn? Likely not. Chris gonna cut off the retreat. Shrimp is fine.
Or they're gonna wait for him to come by and jump on Billy Boss. Yep.
Sapling spots Chris, and Shrimp.
Don't let it hit Shrimp.
All right, but Billy Boss knows better than to even try for this one. They know Shrimp was last seen on that side of the jungle.
Oh, he
And
supercharged himself. Okay, so it looks like
More
he's not going
camps.
to try to look for that play.
More camps cleared. And Shrimp goes back into the jungle. Shrimp's not the kind of guy to wait for a gank in a lane.
No, because that ruins
That means
his
he's not
uptime.
farming. Yeah.
Ruins his uptime against the entire map. He's just ready to farm.
This is the kind of guy who's going to make Devourer look broken. He's going to get it like 13 minutes, and you're going to be like, what the heck is this?
That's true. He doesn't really go for early dragons, though, which is really big for Devourer.
That's true.
Dragon only adds 1 to his CS score. He could have got Raptors in that time.
Oh, he's actually looking for the gank top lane. And Chris is going to land the root. Shrimp shows up a bit late, but
he
Koo
goes
is
in.
here. They're going to look for Chris, but he flashed
No
away to be
mana.
safe. And now Shrimp, overextended. Forced to flash away himself. A Javelin is going to land. Chris has no way of dodging it. Good damage comes out, but they can't get the tower dive.
Yeah, no mana from Chris. Chris, if he had more in his tank, he would have been able to actually come out with a victory there. But just kind of push them off the turret. They have no way to TP back to this. So there's going to be a lot of damage on this turret. They could
might get
possibly
it.
take it here.
Yeah, Ko with the blue buff is going to have plenty of mana to heal Billy Boss, heal himself, get the attack speed on. Bishu slightly behind it. Oh, misses the ulti. And that was a cleanseless peek and whip, which could have meant the Aqua Champion going down. First turn of the game, though, goes to Vortex, and they've tied up the gold because of this. The counter gank top lane works out. Despite getting first blood, Billy Boss still answering back in the top lane.
And Ko picks up a lot of those minions for himself, too.
Yeah.
Evening up that score.
He's actually tied in gold now with Shrimp, thanks to that kill. And thanks, Shrimp got a kill, too. It's not like there's a big difference here, so.
He also got local gold from the turret as well.
Yeah, true. True.
So a nice little boost to him.
All right, so armor going to be built up for Shrimp soon. It is a pretty AD-heavy team. Maokai's not going to do much. Nidalee will do some, but it's otherwise the Varus and Sivir show, so Ninja Tabby to be expected here for Shrimp. Ko does get his jungle enchant done finally. And Bishu just stacking up the tier off the Brutalizer.
And this is one of the first times in all of Challenger for this split that Coastus has had a gold deficit. It's very small, but it's one of the first times that they have. Because Coast usually get a very early first blood, and then they snowball off of that into turrets, and they you never get a lead over them again.
They even got first blood, to be fair. It was a really good counter gank, though, in the turret kill. So all props to Vortex for holding on. Dragon not going to happen. Looks like Coast. Oh, whoa. Oh dear, peek and whoop. It wouldn't have killed. There's not a lot of damage yet on Bishu, but that was so much damage that was narrowly avoided. Mid lane under pressure. It's a forced recall for Peek and Woof, and it's going to be a mid lane pretty cleanly cleared. It's a much better recall now for the
Chris looking for the
Varus
solo.
player. But revealed out by a sapling. Billy Boss able to play this lane safely enough, but Chris still is just denying so much farm. It's a 10 CS lead. It was not only the first blood and the bad recall, but then multiple times afterwards just zoning the Maokai away from the minion line, denying golden XP.
Oh man, I was talking about it last game. I love playing Nidalee and doing this, where you just show up to the lane, give it some auto attacks, heal, siege, good to go. You pick up turrets fairly easily that way, and it's a great objective to play towards as a Nidalee player.
Yeah, if your team ever push people out of the wave, if you ever force them to recall, if you can show up first without the jungler being there, Shrimp wasn't there to defend it and clear the wave away. Maybe he didn't want to be there because of the threat of a Varus ulti, but either way, it doesn't happen. 2 turrets to 0, 1,000 gold lead for Vortex. Blue buff cleanly goes to Bishu. And Vortex, the third time in a row today, the underdog with an early game lead, maybe looking to pick up a win. We've had only 2-0s in the North American Challenger Series so far.
Yeah, it's true.
This might be our first 1-1 split.
Have to see though, Dragon goes over to Coast. Billy Boss pushes out the top lane extraordinarily hard. Big Wolf gets hit extraordinarily hard at the same time.
Yeah.
When you're getting chunked out like this.
You know, Bishu hasn't bought in a while. He's sitting on 1,500 gold, so Mana Mune, I believe, can be afforded roughly at this point. It's close to that amount. Easy wave clear. More attack damage comes in soon, and of course, Peek and Wolf now going for an arm guard second to survive this poke. Cloth armor in tow.
Evened up the CS in the top lane as well, so Billy Boss with
Yeah.
that shove paying off, but there's going to be a little bit more falling into the hands of Chris.
And 1v1, Veritas cannot sit in this lane. Mash will easily chase him down. A really good boomerang blade that brings him to half, but with Ruin King, he's going to lifesteal right back up. Not going to be a concern. This turret, though, losing health slowly but surely. Vortex maybe looking at a 3-0 turret game. Chris hiding far away. He does not have the vision to know if Ko is top lane. You can see very smart hesitation by Chris, but he gets the ward down. Feels safe enough, and Billy Boss in the same situation does not know where Evelyn could be. Lets it get pushed in.
Chris throws out a lot of spells. It's no wonder he's out of mana all the time.
He's got a tier now, so he's trying to stack that as best he can. Bishu continuing to land poke on a Peek and Wolf, but with no turret there. Peek and Wolf right now is actually safe from getting dived with Chris roaming down. He's spotted by this ward. Ko, oh my god, he misses the javelin.
Oh man, Bishu's poke on this Varus is deadly. I ran into it in solo queue a couple times. It just takes over the game. Especially with a comp like this, where everybody's going to be susceptible to your poke. Shrimp will get mildly tanky as an Evelyn. Chris, like you said, he's not going to get that tanky. But these are prime poke targets. These are the people that you want to be poking all the time. Ko, I think he has red timer. Was red coming up shortly?
He got the red buff steal, so he must.
He's hanging out in this area. They
He's
don't
trying to
know,
catch Evelyn running around, I think.
they don't know where Shrimp is.
They're making the play for bot lane, that was it. The bot lane is already getting pushed in, and they wanted to make sure that this turret could go down. If there was a defense, they can collapse on it. So Vortex are playing a few steps ahead. They're definitely playing a pretty smart game here.
They're looking for Bishu.
Yeah.
They saw him walk this way. Oh, man.
With low again, he's got Cleanse Flash, shouldn't be a kill. Now keep in mind, when Vortex lost game 1 to Coast, they got first blooded in a level 1. They got jumped on in ganks, they got really far down in kills, and it was just a snowball of gold leads. This is actually a game where they actually have a decent amount of gold, and Vortex could maybe do something good. Ko,
that's
getting
aggressive.
jumped on pretty heavily. Shrimp could almost knock him down. They pop the Nautilus ult to try to kill him. A big whiff on the Boomerang Blade, and Chris comes in with Flash, looks for Veritas. In comes Shrimp yet again, but getting poked down. This will be a kill. Veritas gets the credit. Biofrost will not land a very good anchor, but Conquan is going to go down. A double kill for Veritas.
They fought it without Peek and Wolf, without Mash. They were clearing the mid wave. That was really aggressive without the rest of the team. And this is the one issue with Coast that I've been kind of worried about, is there were signs in their games of communication. Are we going to go, or are we not going to go? Shrimp is invaded, been invaded on, and then Peek and Wolf didn't help him. Things like that have happened, and it makes me wonder how much this team can be on the same page at all times. Because when something like that happens, it's a definite red flag that there is something going on, and it wasn't communicated ahead of time.
It wasn't, but certainly Vortex communication looking a little bit better here. Red buff will not get stolen away. It will go securely to Mash, but now sitting on a 3,000 gold lead. Vortex, despite the first blood to Chris, all of their lanes have been dominant. All of their lanes have been pushing in. All 3 turrets went down. If they can keep the waves pushed up, Coast won't get that gold back for a long time. And Dragon's only 2 minutes away. This is something Vortex could definitely play for.
Those 3 turrets are huge.
Yeah.
They need to
especially
get some
this
of these
early
out of
in.
the turrets.
It's really big item spikes that you can't answer otherwise.
And when you get these turrets, you just want to push forward. You were talking about it. Push forward, keep them away from yours so they can't reclaim that gold, and just start warding up their jungle, start pressing even further forward. Because as soon as you let up on the pressure, you let them get 1 turret, they rotate to the second, and then the gold's just even again.
Yeah. This gold lead basically is the reason that the mid laner and AD carry have upgraded boots and their opponents don't. That's roughly the crystallization of this gold advantage right here. And it can definitely be a very big deal when you've got the boost speed of the combat stats. Biofrost, though, just freaking destroyed under the turret. Did not respect the rise power. Now, thankfully for them, Dragon's still a minute away, so it's not going to be anything given up. But big pickup there. Got to give more breathing room for Coast.
I'm glad we removed the perma-root cases from Rise. But now he just kills you in 1 or 2.
Well, a turret helps when you're a no item support.
Yeah, it was pretty great. He just killed him so quickly. He had Flash as well. Not able to use it there on Biofrost.
All right, so the wave clear, even without the support alive, it's a bit of a risk, but Mash is top lane, and so Winterfox know they are Vortex. The characters are similar. Vortex able to continue the siege bot lane, but you can see the wave clear of Peek and Wolf is enough to make top lane get killed without anything gained on the other side. Good split push by Mash, 194 CS is very high. He's back to tied with this Sivir.
And he just gets the shove. Nobody can answer him for a while.
There are no
What?
duelists who
What?
can beat Mash 1v1 right now.
Wait, what? They're pinging.
They're saying assist me on Baron.
What?
This seems unlikely.
Yeah. Dragon?
No, they're all over.
They're saying when they go for Dragon, we go for Baron.
Wow. They're going to try and mash pulls aggro early.
It's going to work.
It just might. You're going to see that. Oh my god. Guys. Oh dear lord. Vortex say, guys, they might be on Baron. In fact, they are. Coast doing so much damage to it. And this could be a very clean and quick Baron pickup. It's getting lower and lower in health. And wow.
Oh my
the
god.
20-minute Baron works. What a great plan by Coast. And out they go.
As soon as they went for Dragon, they didn't even get the Dragon on the side of Vortex. And they're left with nothing.
Blue team's turret has
They'll
been
get it now.
They'll
They
get
get
it
mid push
eventually,
in.
but
They killed the Azir turret that actually bought a lot of time, so mid couldn't get pushed either. Very smart plan by Coast. 1,500 gold surge and a lot of map control now with the Baron buff on for the next 2.5 minutes.
the Blade of the Ruined King Vayne helps you do it so quickly, and then you pull in your mid laner who's an Azir. Yeah, it's going to go down quickly. They pick it up. They get themselves right back in this game. 300 gold difference after being down 3,000.
Great stuff with these guys. So, roughly tied game. Waves cleared back and forth. And now Coast, do they choose to play defensively with Baron? Veritas?
Oh, we didn't know he was that close!
Flash not required. There's no way he's getting out of that one. Kill goes over to Mash.
Yeah.
KDA goes up 1, 23 more to go.
When you're looking at who's coming at you and you only see the Vayne, you know, oh, he's out of range of me, he's not gonna get me. But then the Evelynn comes up and immediately instant casts you from further than the Vayne was. Yeah, it's going to take you by surprise. They get the turret in the bottom lane and they just surge past the 3,000 gold lead and they come to a 1K for themselves, overcoming 4,000 gold in just a matter of 2 minutes.
The turrets are falling pretty rapidly. Baron buff makes it easy as well. 22 minutes in, bot lane tier 2 under fire, and no one's here to defend this, really. It's just the Nautilus. Coast a bit gun shy, though. Don't do too much for this one. Keep in mind, though, Nautilus takes a lot of damage, down to half already. Mash still pushing this down.
He's got to be a little careful. They do have TP on Chris, so he can reinforce his position if they get jumped on. But what you need to do is just have Chris farm up, get this top lane, now shove out the mid lane, which is constantly being pushed in by Peek and Wolf, and the fact that you have Baron. This is just more gold for you. You're going to get these 3 turrets back that you didn't have at the start.
And that's what's going to happen to the gold lead here. It's going to go right back into their favor. 1 kill lead, 1 Baron lead as well, and now it's a 2,000 gold lead overall for Coast. The farm is the same. It's the neutral objectives that have put them ahead now. Vortex having to play defensively off a game that they were certainly winning until that one great call by Coast. Co just farming what he can, and for the first time, I think ever in Challenger, Shrimp is getting out-farmed.
There was one
Down
game where
300 gold.
there's one game where he was down 7 CS at the end of the game.
Okay.
That's it. He's been up like 140, 140, 120. And then it was up 1 CS, and then another one was down 7 CS.
Okay, well, he's down 16, so
It's the most that he's been down.
Co is the new king of Challenger.
Well, he has 100% kill participation for his team. He
Yeah.
didn't have that rough start that he had yesterday, so it's very hard to judge his performance on that Olaf. But this is a champion he's much more familiar with taking over the game on. And like we said, these are going to be squishy poke targets. The Aegis of Legion and Locket will come through eventually for Shrimp, but everybody is very squishy. Bishu and Co, we're going to have a great time poking through them.
Let's continue on. Raptors cleared away. Bichu's still getting what farm he can. Core items all done. The Armor Pen and the Mana Mune are here. The Mirror Mana combined isn't too far away. Only 100 mana to go on that one, so that'll be a nice spike in power. But there's a fight coming along. Ulti's not going to land, but the Nautilus one will, and they're going to catch up Shrimp. Emperor's Divide not going to matter. Bunch of poke goes through, but Co in a bad spot. Pika Wolf answers back a 1-for-1. Chris locked to the front line, but these soldiers going to push away the back line by themselves. Vortex cannot take this fight. A triple cover Pika Wolf jumped up by Veritas. Zone just keeps him alive.
Mash gonna pick up another for himself.
All right, Mash have gotten 4 so far in this game. His KDA now 80 in the Challenger Series. Very, very good job for himself. 25 minutes in, Coast have just turned it on, and Baron buff or not, they are growing a very large gold lead. 3, almost 4,000. Mid lane 2-2 should go down as well.
Ooh. Poke coming out from Bishu. Pika Wolf's gonna back off before that can take him down, and Coast just surged. 4,000 gold up now.
Yep.
Shrimp did not play that very well, but Pika Wolf was there to salvage the situation, get his first 3 kills of the game. You can see right here, Shrimp hooked, It was a good wall, but he goes down, and then Ko jumps forward, picked up, and Peekawolf is just taking over this fight. His Q to the backline and his 2 autos onto
so
Mishu and Veritas, huge. And then you know his Q is just coming up shortly. Slides in front of everybody. Really well played there by Peekawolf. Consistent force of the team coming through.
Yeah, the choice to Q to the backline and not onto the Maokai was so crucial. He zoned out the backline because of the just gigantic reach of those soldiers. What a great choice there. What a great play by Peekawolf. 8-4, Coast up 4,000 gold here, 26 minutes in. Definitely a big margin for them.
And that's
the Kale's done for Conquan as well, makes it even safer.
That's a huge part of Azir, is as soon as the front line becomes kind of the back line and starts backing off, you are 100% fine to queue and place your soldiers through the front line and hit the back line. Azir is a mage that has great backline reach and backline DPS, so you need to lock him up and get him out of the fight. But the problem is that his Emperor's Divide keeps him safe for so long. You saw Billy Boss wanted to jump in there, but then he got flanked from the side after the Emperor's Divide came out. Oh,
wow, Veritas. Weird spell. I don't know if he expected a flash route, but that didn't come through. Whatever, it doesn't even cost anything. Cooldown to be back. So we get to this mid-game stage where Coast are certainly winning by a bit, but it's not insurmountable. It is big, but workable. And Vortex still has this very good poke comp, but Coast able to still find these individual fights. Mash going in hard. He's got the Whimsy on. Goes for Billy Boss. Gets him easily. This will be another dead turret. The split-up game working so well for Coast. They basically 3-on-1 the top laner.
I was like, how did Shrimp get an assist there? He used his locket to get an assist.
Nice.
I was like, he's way out of range. Nice little, cute little play there. This guy just loves gold.
Of course.
No matter what, he's going to try to get as much gold as possible.
If he likes gold so much, why is he in Master Tier?
It's true. I think he's a challenger.
Okay, challenger.
He's a challenger now. It's a little golden.
$6,000 gold lead Coast. Continue to find their mark in this game. Vortex knocked those 3 turrets down at the very start. This game was 3 turrets to 0, and now it's 5-3 flipped in the favor of Team Coast. There's nothing going well for Vortex for a very long time now.
Yeah, that big call to go for the Baron just turned the game around. It looked like one that Mash was making. He was on that top side of the map, and he's a big vocal shot caller of this team.
Void Staff in for Peekawolf as well. He's going to crush team fights whether he hits tanks or not. And what can Vortex do? They have a poke team. They have wave clear, but it seems like they can't really use it cleanly enough because Coast have the ability to start these fights, these split push battles. The Whimsy Vayne chasing down the tank who's stacking MR. The random picks from Shrimp getting flanks. The Peekawolf big plays. Coast able to play a pretty chill game where they just keep picking up advantages.
So today and yesterday have been about a few things for the top 3 teams. It's been one, just establishing yourself as you are a top 3 team. And the way they were doing that is, it's strange to say, but you can just crush a bottom team, right?
Yeah.
But they've been doing that. They've been showing they can do that. Now they're showing they can come back from a deficit. And oh man, Shrimp caught out, gets himself a shield.
Ton of crowd control. Ko's around. That'll be a kill picked up. Ko gets the kill for it as well.
Baron's live too.
And Ryze is bot lane. Now he's got teleport though. Chris can join, but this could be a risk Vortex could take, but they're on top of wards. They're on top of Scuttlecrab. They don't even try. Mid lane's not going to go down anytime soon. There's nothing picked up, and Chris keeps pushing bot lane out.
He's backing now. Going to see that he's no longer
safe here. Like Vortex, it seems like they don't know how to secure advantages. They killed the enemy jungler. They fought an Azir passive for it and let Ryze push all the way into their inhibitor turret. Vortex don't seem to have any kinds of plans at all for what they want to do with this game. They let top and bot be pushed all the way in without reacting. By the time they clear those waves, Evelyn's back alive and Coast bath control again.
Coast, I'm saying they were solidifying themselves as a top team because they're coming back from disadvantages like that. They're given an advantage, or at least an opportunity to take an advantage, and you see that they jump on it. And it's been something that all the top 3 teams have been showing us this last week. Renegades did it. We saw Cloud9 Tempest do it. They had 4K gold down, and then they jumped back into the lead off teamwork plays that they were able to orchestrate and set up. And that's a mark of a good team. It's not that when we're ahead, we win. When we're behind, we lose. It's you can win under different
When we're ahead, we win.
circumstances.
When we're behind, we win.
Exactly.
Coast looking to continue their undefeated streak, 6-0. This was the team that won a single game in the LCS, and it was the worst record we've ever seen from an LCS team. They got auto-demoted back down to Challenger. They changed up the roster. They added Shrimp, who has been nothing but wonderful so far for Coast. And here's the attempted engage, double slow. Bijou locked up, goes down too fast. Biofrost as well, a 2 for 0. Double kill for Chris, who continues to dominate 4-0 in this game. Mash improves to an 82 KDA in Challenger, and they're going to head over towards what might be Baron.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt a Baron happening right now. They have the Vayne. They have Peek and Wolf with his damage over the wall. Chris is just going to do some zoning duty. Is he going to go on to Ko?
Didn't see him.
No, not yet.
Ward over the wall, so no chance for that one. Passive popped. Baron goes down, secured quickly and easily. No smite up, but they didn't need it. Second Baron of the game. As many Barons as Dragons in this one. But an 8,000 gold lead means Coast can do pretty much whatever they want when they come back to this one. Their siege is okay, thanks to Azir. And they might push in top lane tier 2 pretty cleanly.
Yeah, but their split push is crazy. Chris is level 17, and the highest member on Vortex is Veritas at 15.
Yeah.
Solo laners are 15 and 14 now. We just saw Billy Boss hit 15 from 14. So Chris is 2 levels up on the enemy top laner. Rank 3 ultimate. He's just ready to go. He has this huge advantage, 30 CS.
Move up attempt. Grabbed by Bijou. The ulti's gonna land as well. They might jump on Chris. Ko lands the javelin. A big anchor toss as well, but a re-engage thanks to Lulu. Keeps Chris alive for a second. Finally, Billy Boss gets the kill, but here goes Peek and Wolf. Gets one.
Oh.
Looks for 2. Bijou's on the wrong side of this wall. Down he goes. Double kill now. 2 for 1. Chris's first death, but still a great fight for Coast, all said and done. Minute on Dragon, but plenty of time to recall, heal up, and push.
And they just fight when they have an advantage, and they were able to press it once again. Now they're just going to press down mid lane. They have wave clear. They have ways to start this off. Chris, he takes some damage. It hits his shield. He gets another shield here from the Locket, and then just boom, all this damage. The AoE, the ultimate is on, hitting so many people, and then Pika Wolf's damage on top of it across everybody who just dogpiled in. Nice Shurima slide, and then the pickup on Bijou.
Javelin by Ko took Conquan low, but just not low enough. Talisman of Ascension Lulu, I'm so glad to see that item be picked up as a prioritized core item on supports. I think it's the best one you could buy. Exceptions really only would be Nautilus and Shen as champions who would go face, but even on Thresh, I think Relic Shield and Ascension is the correct build. But either way, 9,000 gold, 8.5 I guess is Coast's lead. They're here in time for Dragon Mash. We'll stay.
He's just bored waiting for the spawn.
Yep. Easy pickup though. Dragon number 3, bonus move speed now to Coast. Completely in control. They did not get really any turrets with the Baron buff. They're still got 45 seconds on that, but split push bot lane. There's no turrets there to easily grab. Top lane, the slow walk for Chris. He won't get there before Baron times out though. And all of Baron did was win a team fight. They would have won anyway. And secure a dragon. Peek Wolf on the runaway, but he's got teammates to his right, and Chris has teleport top lane anyway. Billy Boss's teleport is down, so he is sticking with the team, but Chris will be top lane the next 15 seconds. Someone has to answer that. Shrimp looking to see where people are going.
Still have the Baron for a little bit. Pushing up, and Chris will be able to get this top lane turret. Billy Boss doesn't count. Billy Boss is still 3 levels down to Chris. I'm very surprised Chris isn't actually pushing that turret harder. He's just getting the minions, the monsters in the jungle. Seeing if he can do anything about it.
He wasn't really under threat, but yeah, he's just farming.
Yeah.
Coast playing it very, very slow, and now he's going to go for the 1v1 under the turret. Actually, yeah, you don't want to dive that. There's no real reason to.
Just get the damage down.
Yeah, why not? Walks away. There's actually not a lot of jungle vision for Coast on the top side. They can't easily track the gank paths. They're only super, super defensive wards, so Coast can't feel all that safe on their split pushes in the top lane. Chris identifies that, plays it safely. Top lane scuttle picked up. Baron's gone for the next 3 minutes. Dragon's gone for 5. Nothing to play for except for turrets. Coast, it took them 5 Dragons to win their last game, and that was a game where they were 12-2 in kills at one point. Coast are very slow to win their games, it feels like.
Their average game time is 37 minutes. They've had 2 30-minute games, then they had a 40 and a 44-minute one. So they have had some time, but look at this. Just the damage, the root, and
Goodbye. Chris spamming the abilities, the slows, too much to deal with. Shrimp's ulti making it happen.
Just an assist coming through. Shrimp is just really cheeky about those. However he can get it, he'll try to get that assist. Every little advantage he can get. It's worth more money on the kill.
Yeah. All right, mid lane still being pushed. Bishu has good wave clear, and of course against Varus Sivir, sieging is difficult.
Yeah.
And Vortex playing well enough with defensive wards and with pretty decent rotations. They're able to defend these wards pretty well. Ko, safe, reveals Shrimp, gets away. Top lane pushed in, but you can see MASH unable to hit these turrets easily. It is hard for Vayne to knock turrets down. Her move block is short range. Chris doesn't do much damage to him either. And Peekin Wolf the only guy, really. No flash means he's got to feel safe by not hitting things.
MASH is in a siege situation. He has Bloodthirster, Blade of the Ruined King, and a Potion of Wrath, so he's full HP again, and he's looking for the pickup.
Oh, Blade of the Ruined King to stop the recall. Goodbye, Ko. Recalled on a ward. Showing the dance moves. Actually, that was the like dance and laugh together. Man, Vortex cannot catch a break. They haven't had a kill in so long in this game. They haven't had an objective in forever. The map continues to stay on their side of the map.
Peekin Wolf just got 3 kills and a triple kill. The Baron call, just everything's been going really well for Coast ever since they got that one turret that MASH got top, and then the call for the Baron. Just really good shot calling there. They haven't looked back. 11k gold advantage.
Yeah, Coast have very stiff necks. They don't look back. That was the joke? Yeah, okay. Just making sure you're with me here.
Yeah. 83 KDA for MASH so far. He's getting there.
Yep.
He's getting there.
But he is sitting on 1 death, so a single death will break that in half.
Yes. 1 death would break it all the way down.
In half.
To 48? 40,
What?
41.
0.5?
41.5, yeah.
There you go. Good job.
I was thinking it was...
You passed 6th grade.
I saw 76 on my paper because that's what he had when this game started, and I was like, I added 10 to it.
You should add 7 to it.
Yeah.
All right, good.
It doesn't matter anyway. He's looking for more. He's looking for more. He's going for the Maokai now. Billy Boss?
All right, it's going to be a flash
got
from
red
Billy
buff.
Boss. Yeah, red buff. A lot of lifesteal, a lot of attack speed.
Silver bolts.
One more hit. There you go. MASH unstoppable. 5-0-3 to split push Vayne. Working slowly but surely. Ward control decent enough for Coast to spot all of Vortex running around the map. Ko forced to play defensively. Shrimp looking for the surround. He's got enough MR to not really take damage here.
84 for MASH.
And Chris has joined the top lane with teleport, sorry, the bot lane, but right under the inhibitor. They're going to clear the wave away. They're going to lock down the inhibitor turret. The inhibitor itself going to go as well. Great split pushing. Coast finding their way in.
Oh, the lockup on the Shrimp.
A lot of damage. Ulti's going to go on towards Chris. Could this be the fight that they actually win? Shrimp forced to flash away. Shields are on. Oh, man.
Ooh.
They got the kill onto Shrimp, and now Chris slowed as well. But those are some really scary Azir soldiers. MASH on the side. Just going to grab some wolves.
Just that double lifesteal build onto MASH, and the fact that he's been running that Elixir of Wrath for so long, getting 2 kills on top of it. Whoa. It's a little aggressive. A little aggressive.
A little bit. Veritas with the next red buff, 383 minutes on him. He's been the primary split pusher. They've been trying to give him gold. He's on 4 full items in the AD carry, but the problem is it is fairly hard to play Sivir when there is backline reach that aren't threatened, right? This Azir is gonna be able to land some soldiers here.
Nice glimpse from Peekin Wolf, but Tonquan and Shrimp still get locked up. The ult team in the back, and Shrimp just gets pulled in after the shield, and here comes the Q across all the way to Shrimp.
Oh, he juked into it.
That was just the tip of it,
All
too.
right,
And
Vortex gonna try.
Ooh.
Shrimp just respawn. There's a bunch of time before the jungler can be here. How much zoning can Ko bring in? Chris dives in. He's gonna buy a lot of time, but he dies right away. MASH cutting away in the backhand side. Veritas in the chase. They turn back for Peekin Wolf, who already picked up 2 kills. They'll kill him back though. The Emperor's Divide buying a bit of time. Shrimp helping to re-engage. A 2 for 2, but the both solos of Coast are dead.
They still have MASH, though, who has that double lifesteal, so he'll be 100% healthy very quickly, and this is a problem.
There's no good wave clear left. All the damage is gone. Mash is the only damage source left on the Coast lineup. He's been spotted out. He can't fight this. Shrimp goes in. He looks for Bishu. There's a lot of damage. They get the kill, and in comes Mash. He's going to try to look for Billy Boss. The tank getting focused down. Veritas just running away. It's going to be a 2 for 0. So with only 1 damage dealer, it works out. Bishu goes down. A fight won by Coast 4-2.
They thought it was only 1 damage dealer, but Shrimp comes up onto the low health Bishu, and that was enough damage. They didn't take into consideration that that could happen, and they paid for it.
I think Biofrost died with his ulti still available. I don't know if the cooldown was up when he died, but it's up right now. Level 15 Nautilus. Dragon number 4 claimed by Mash. A 10 KDA now for him in this game, putting him at 86.
86. He needs 14 more.
I don't think it'll be in this game. I feel like one more team fight.
I don't know,
Coast
man. They
wins the
play
game.
long games.
They do play long games, but with bot lane inhibitor already dead, with Baron on the field, it being late in this late in the game, death timers are long enough that Coast would or should be able to win the game off of a single team fight.
I gotta say, Mash is playing this as if he's conscious of his KDA. Because that last fight, he got jumped on and then he immediately tumbled and then ran all the way around instead of helping Peek and Wolf.
Well, Shrimp has Smite. Will they risk the Smite steal against Ko? They jump into Billy Boss instead. A lot of damage from the Vayne and the Rise. They get the kill. Mash is godlike on this Vayne, and back they go one more time. Top lane is dead. Shrimp's at half, but he's got some Lulu shields to keep him a little bit safer. 4,000 health left. Ko, is he going to try for the steal? He's not going to get it. Blue team secures it. Chris gets rooted.
One more arrow. Ooh, nice.
Gonna be fine though. A Baron and a champion kill. One last recall. Coast can look to push in a lot more here. And Vortex forced to play more and more defensively. Billy Boss has been picked on this game as the sole tank. Well, one of the 2 tanks, I should say. 2 and 8 in this game. Just jumped on by a Zero and Vayne every single fight. 2 of the best tank killing champions in the game per role.
And a big thing too is he got killed by Chris solo. He got killed again by a dive. He got zoned off his turret over and over again, and he got to the point where Chris was no longer split pushing against him, and it was a sigh of relief. But then it was Mash who started split pushing against him, and it was just more kills falling into the hands of Coast, exploiting Billy Boss. 2 levels down on pretty much every member of Coast, equal levels to their support.
And here we go. The next attempt for Coast. They've summoned a very aggressive Zero turret at mid-tier 2. This will help them easily siege without getting jumped on. There's just no chance to flank. This Chris barely takes damage from the javelins here. And they're able to dodge away from the arrows and the javelins that come through. Slow push on mid, not getting a lot of damage done. Top in a bad spot. They send Vayne to go clear that away. Mash has a ton of money, but they decide he needs a little bit more. They want to get that top lane available. Top lane tier 2 hasn't died in 2 consecutive Baron buffs, which is very interesting that has managed to not die. Of course, they did get bottom inhibitor last time around. That was pretty slick.
Coast still playing for the 5th dragon as well, so they have a lot of options here against this team, who's just constantly poking them. Oh, right.
See nothing to gauge. A lot of move speed comes through, but Conquan safe enough with Talisman of Ascension. That's why you buy that item. Ladies and gentlemen, it's easy to walk away from those champions. And here comes the counter engage. Bishu super caught out, goes down right away. And the fight continues. Biofrost the front line. Chris takes a lot of damage, but still won't die to Veritas. Javelin catches him. It's a 3 for 1 though, and here comes the last bit of the chase. Mashes in, lands the slow into Billy Boss. Ko in the back line. Looks for Peekaboo, gets him actually. And the chase continues. Mash really wants the Maokai. Looks like he should be able to get it. Silverbolt's procs 8-0 and 4. Ko still on the chase. Javelin will not quite catch Conquan, but over the wall he goes. And where exactly is Lulu going to go on this one? A double kill for Ko. It's a 4 for 3 though, and it's enough. That Ko in a 1v2 might keep the base alive, but bottom inhibitor was already killed off. And here's the push in for the game. 44 minutes and 48 seconds into this one. They're looking to knock down the Nexus. Ko cannot 1v2 with the Baron buff minion wave. Mash? Yeah, okay. Looks for the kill on the Ko. Couple more silver ball hits. That'll do it. There's the ace. There's the game. 8-0 and 5. Mash adds 13 to his already impressive 76 KDA. 89 for him in the Challenger split across 3 weeks. 6-0 for Team Coast. 0-6 for Vortex.
They've clinched that playoff spot as well. You will be seeing Coast in the Challenger Series playoffs as well as Renegades. They've both secured it today. But there's some teams down at the bottom now. 2 0-6 teams
Yeah.
on the complete opposite side.
Yeah.
So Coast and Renegades, they've already been through a large part of their easy schedule, and they go up against each other next week.
Yeah.
So one of those two teams is going to be no longer going to be undefeated, or both if they go 1-1.
Sure, and also Cloud9 Tempest is only 1 win away from securing it for themselves as well. They're sitting on 4 wins, which is the most that Vortex or Winterfox could get. So we're rapidly approaching a very difficult spot for the bottom of the table with 2 of the 4 playoff spots already out of reach. And if you're 5th or 6th, you don't even get a chance. You are out of the Challenger Series. You must requalify up against the 2016 teams, and that could be a difficult road either way. Of course, that's still in the future. We'll see what these guys can do.
Yeah, but Coast, in the present right now,
yeah,
really great performance there. Mash, another deathless game from him. He's had 5 of those now, only 1 death. And like you said, 89. He's 11 away from 100 KDA as just a single person.
Yeah.
That's going to look ridiculous on the website. It's going to look absolutely ridiculous.
That's the highest KDA.
Do we even go to that many digits? I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Once in a while you see things that high, but
maybe. But this game was really different from what Coast has done in the past. It's been Mash carrying. It was a comeback performance off of a great shot call, and Peek and Wolf came up huge. When they gave him gold, he was able to deliver, which is something I've been wanting to see from him because he's been kind of that backliner. He's the AP Kog'Maw. He's the Victor. Yeah. He's the Azir who's just poking in the back. This was the first time I've seen him actually dive in every time he could to get to that back line, and I believe that was out of necessity because it was against a poke comp.
Yeah.
He adjusted his style to play against the poke and knew that he had to dive into the back, or else he's just going to be frustrated being in his own backline getting poked out. I thought that was brilliant adaptation there by Peek and Wolf.
Yeah, Peek and Wolf 8, 3, and 4. The Vayne 0 deaths as well. The backline diving definitely worked for the Squishies, and it was a solid game by Coast. A great early game by Vortex. They're doing good things, but once again, we're seeing the favorite team has a better mid game, has better shot calling, able to close it out. No comeback for the underdogs once things go poorly, and it's a 0-6 start for Vortex. We'll see if they can turn it around at the very, very end here. But with 3/5 of the season down, here is where the table stands. Tied for first place, clinching playoff spots, undefeated. Renegades and Team Coast 6-0. In third place is that 4-2 Cloud9 Tempest. Imagine right behind them, 2-4.
And still looking to make their mark are Vortex and Winterfox in last with completely winless scores so far. Now remember, the top 4 teams will advance to the summer playoffs, so time is running out for Vortex and Winterfox if they hope to clinch a spot. These last few games are just absolutely crucial for both those teams.
Well, we'll see if they can reach themselves there, but of course there is more Challenger next week at this same time when the 2 unbeaten teams face off. Renegades up against Team Coast in our first match of the evening. After that, Vortex versus Winterfox looking for their first wins, and then Cloud9 Tempest will close out against Team Imagine. They battle for that 3rd, 4th spot. Gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, and then after all of that Challenger action, it's the ULCS, but that kicks off tomorrow with Week 7 when the Copenhagen Wolves take on the Unicorns of Love. They get things started with Rocats versus Elements, and you won't want to miss H2K Gaming as they try to tarnish Fnatic's perfect 12-0 record. It all starts at 6 p.m. Central European Summertime, 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time.
That's going to do it from us tonight at the Challenger Desk. Once again, we'd like to say thanks to our guest Solo for the wonderful interview and the awesome blonde hair, and on behalf of myself, Zyrene, and the entire live broadcast crew, thanks for watching. Good night and GG.
See you guys.
I get the last word. No, me. No, I get it. I get it. How dare you? No. I'm just saying things. Where are they going to mute us? They're not muting us yet. Why aren't they muting us? What? Is this release still happening? You can end the clip, guys. Boomerang blade. And Chris comes in with Flash, looks for Veritas. In comes Trippy yet again, but getting poked down. This will be a kill. Veritas gets the credit. Push away the backline by themselves. Vortex cannot take this fight. A triple cover Peek and Wolf jumped on by Veritas. Don't just keep them alive, but a re-engage thanks to Lulu. Keeps Chris alive for a second. Finally, Billy Boss gets the kill, but here goes Peek and Wolf. Gets one. Looks for 2. Bishu's on the wrong side of this wall. Bishu super caught out. Goes down right away. And the fight continues by across the front line. Chris takes a lot of damage, but still won't die to Veritas. Javelin catches him.
Yo, man, look at me, man. I got all the jewels. Look at my shoes, man. I'm sharp, man. I look good, I look good, I look exactly the way you wish you could. I look good, I look good, come on. I'm in love with a girl that I call old school. Sipping on my brandy, I'm feeling brand new. Got the feather in my hat because I'm just that cool. You peeping at my alligators bent kinda slew. They peeping at me pimping cause I got all the game. And even if the day change, it's all the same. You rolling up the block, but you in the wrong lane. You hating on a brother, man, you must be insane. I look good. I look good. I look exactly the way you wish you could. I look good. I look good. Come on. I look good. I look good. I look exactly the way you wish you could. I look good. I look good. Come on. Joe said that I'm the best in the West. I got the girl saying, damn, look at how he dressed. No need to guess, just bless my finesse. I keep him in a mess, all up in this caress. Jeans, fitted, shirt, knitted. Man, she need to quit it, she already did it. She gotta be Latina cause she look mixed with it. She all up on me, so I guess she gonna get it. I look good, I look good. I look exactly the way you wish you could. I look good, I look good. Come on. I look good, I look good.